It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show, where there are two sides to every story. Enjoy the broadcast. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. It is Saturday night. This is a special broadcast. As you can see, I have my peeps here with me. We're going to have an interesting conversation tonight, but I want to first thank all of you for tuning in. If you're watching from YouTube, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel while you're there, okay? Please subscribe to the Ella Johnson Show so that we can have thousands of subscriptions. Also, I need you guys, if you're on Facebook, share. Everybody on your timeline, especially if they live in Monroeville, Alabama, need to be a part of this broadcast tonight, this discussion. We need your comments. We need you guys to say it is what it is. We're going to bring your comments on the screen. I want to tell my guests that if I have a comment that I have stuck there, that means I want you guys to look at it so we can address it. Okay? Fair? All right, guys. So listen, let's talk about it. I'm so excited to see y'all. Look at my friend Crystal. Crystal, you should have been enough tired of Facebook this week. You've been killing it this week, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. All right, guys. So last week on the Ella Johnson Show, I had Coach Wilkerson here from MCHS. He's the head coach, and he was there because he was here because there was an issue with, something that he posted that ended up on WKRG. So I wanted him to come here and explain what that was. And basically what he was saying is that he's just pleading for the community to get more involved and come to the games. But during that conversation, there were some things that came up that we were not aware of, which caused us to have even more conversations. And he brought up that the school is in dire need of equipment. There was a time that they didn't have water, and these guys are out in the sun. And so it was a lot of things that he brought up that I felt like we needed to dig further. It's like, why don't they have equipment? Why don't they have water? Like, what's going on? We have organizations there that are set aside to raise money and fundraise, and we have a board of education and all of this stuff. So we got to dig into it, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it tonight. Now, throughout the week, my guest, Crystal Tucker, who is here tonight, has lit up Facebook, seriously, with her comments and her posts and everything. And I think a lot of it may have been misunderstood and maybe not. But I wanted her to come here tonight so she can expound on a lot of those things that were talked about. Right, Crystal?
Correct.
All right. But before we do all that, guys, I want everybody to come on in, share the broadcast, please, because like I said, we need everybody in on this conversation tonight. But I want to introduce my guest to you because I have some powerhouses here with us tonight. All right. Y'all know Butch Carmichael sitting over there. If you went to Monroe County High School in the 80s, you know who this guy is right here. Okay. You know who he is because you saw him on the football field. You saw him on the track. You saw him in what else? Baseball. He was an all-around All-American, okay? But he's a graduate of 1986. He left Monroe County High School with a baseball and track scholarship that landed him in Hines College. And there he was able to get an AA in business administration. Now, Butch specializes in drafting and design engineering. Now, for that, he needed to go to school 4 more years. So he ended up at Southern Technical College, Southern Polytechnic College of Engineering and Design. He's a local in Delray Beach, Florida. He's the director of virtual design and engineering at Hedrick Brothers Construction. He serves as board chair of the Excel Mentoring Network. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Good to see you.
I'm
It's
so
been a
glad.
while.
It has been a while. And you know, you were into it last week. You had a lot of questions. Your passion comes through. Because one thing about you and me, whenever we do see each other, all we talk about is what? County High.
County
Exactly.
High. That's it.
Yeah.
Always. Good.
And then we have no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
That's it. County High.
Because I want to hear a little bit more about what both of you guys are telling me what MCHS meant to y'all. Y'all know it's just we can't help ourselves, guys. Y'all just got to bear with us. We got to talk about it a little bit. Then we have Miss Crystal Red Velvet Tucker. You got to say all that when you address Crystal. We got to put some respect on it, right, Crystal?
It's optional.
Crystal is a force to be reckoned with. Now, I want you guys to imagine blending soulful artistry, healthcare expertise, bullseye legal analysis, and community activism all in one person. That's Crystal. That's the introduction right there, but there's more. Now, aside from music, Crystal is also a registered nurse. She is a legal nurse consultant at one of the largest healthcare corporations in America. She was featured in Smithsonian Magazine as a griot. Crystal, you have to tell everybody what that is because I had to look it up. I was like, what the hell? But it's amazing. Nobody can tell it like her. She's a paralegal. She's a consulting member of the American Bar Association and the National Bar Association. Now, Crystal also assists law firms. When they have complex cases, they call her. Imagine that. So she went to Mississippi State University for paralegal, Alabama Southern Belhaven University for her nursing and legal nursing consulting, and her vocal performance, Birmingham Southern College. She's a mom, grandmom, and she is my friend. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show.
Thank you, and hello to everybody.
Oh, wow. That was she seems so calm, right? I love you, Crystal. And you know what? I have to say this. I know I probably did say thank you, but thank you because you came when my mom passed and you sang at her funeral, her homegoing, and it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If you guys have never had the opportunity to hear this woman sing, who knows? Maybe she'll give us a tune before we leave tonight. Maybe she'll get happy. Y'all know how they say about the church. Maybe she'll get happy.
Exactly.
And give us a little something. Well, anyway, welcome to both of you guys. We got that out of the way. Guys, listen, what y'all think about the show last week?
It was very informative. Informative, excuse me. It was eye-opening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
That's why you guys are both back tonight, because it was an eye-opener for us. We were not expecting all of that. I know I didn't. I wasn't. But tonight, this is what I want us to eventually, we're going to talk about tonight. So let me just put that out there right now. We're going to talk about the organizations that benefited from fundraising in the name of Monroe County High School. We are going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about what the kids really need. What do we really need to do for these kids? We're going to talk about why transparency is important, because it is needed to satisfy the concerns. And let me, for the record, say that the concerns that we're talking about tonight, they came to us. We did not look for it. So let me put that out there. They came to us. Now, I'm not going to disclose who and all of that tonight, but just so you'll know that the people that are watching, these concerns came to us. We're just addressing it because we care about our alma mater. What we're expecting from our school board. Yeah, we got some messages for you guys too. All right. And then we're going to call on the community, because everybody has a role in this, guys. Let me tell you something. MCHS doesn't just belong to the state, it belongs to the community. So we are all responsible for how it is. So if it's messed up, it's our fault. If it's excelling, it's our fault. We are responsible. If we don't have the money and we have people raising money and not putting that money for good use, it's our fault. We're going to get into all of that. All right. Y'all ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about our experiences. I want you, Butch, tell everybody what it was like, because let's say there's a young kid watching the show tonight, and he's like, oh man, that's a legend. That's an OG right there. He played football and everything. What would you tell him about your experience at County High?
Wow, my experience at County High, first thing word would come to mind would be pride. walking down the hallways, it was pride. Putting on that jersey on Friday, walking the hallways, going to a pep rally. It was a community. It was all about pride. Um, what I've heard lately is that there's not much of that county high pride as what we used to have.
Yeah.
But growing up in Monroeville, it was great. It was community. Um, Everybody looked out for everybody. Uh, Parents showed up, organizations showed up. Uh, that's just it. It was all about pride for me. So, oh yeah.
Crystal, what do you? I know you graduated from JF Shields. For those that are wondering, because I've seen a lot of comments. Well, you didn't even graduate from County High, but you know everybody that went there, and you went through sophomore. So tell us
Well,
your experiences at County High and what that meant to you.
the first thing I want to do is I want to respond to the people who have any doubts about my concern because I didn't graduate from Monroe County High School. If they passed out right now and became violently ill, would it matter if the doctor who could save them graduated from Monroe County High School or not? Would it matter if the fireman who came to your house could put the fire out if he did not graduate from Monroe County High School? Now, what Monroe County High School means to me is, regardless of where we ended up earning diplomas,
Yeah.
that school was a place where some bonds that still last today were formed, where they were created. There are memories there that are precious, that are priceless. There are times when you think back, there's a moment that you can reflect back 40 years ago to something that happened in the cafeteria, something that happened in the hallway, something that happened in the band room, and it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Wherever we have gone across this country and around the world, there were some bonds that were created in those hallowed halls of that institution. And regardless of where I received my diploma on the 28th of May in 1987, there were some experiences at Monroe County High School, the choir, the debate team,
Yes.
that put me in a position to get to Birmingham Southern, to get to Belhaven, to get to places and to people where I could position myself to have built a great life. Doesn't matter what, some may have transferred to Frisco. There are people who went to school with us whose parents' jobs transferred. But for whether you were a Tiger for 4 years or whether you were a Tiger for 4 months, you got something out of those halls. You got something from some of those people that has carried you where you needed to be and has sustained you through some tough times. If it wasn't nothing but having the phone number of a person that you could call to get you through a day, that could give you a reference for a job, that had expertise or could help you make a connection. So the length of my time at Monroe County High School is no match for the strength of my time at Monroe County High School.
Oh, that's very well said.
I
Well,
see
there it
you,
is.
Ed.
So let's put that to bed, okay? It doesn't matter. She earned a lot and learned a lot from Monroe County High School, as we all did. I want to show you guys something. Because Crystal, you talked about this. I want you guys, Crystal, tell everybody who this guy is, Errol Crook.
Errol Crook is the son of Doris Lavord and Doris Crook. He is an alumnus of Monroe County High School. I believe he graduated in the class of 1980. Dr. Errol Crook is one of the top nephrologists in the country and is on the faculty now of the Morehouse Medical School in Atlanta, Georgia. He is one among many other distinguished alumni who you may or may not know about.
And the reason I brought that up, guys, is because if you ever wanted a reason or need a reason as to why we're doing this, there it is. Because there are more of them out there. And if we allow this school to go down, they will never live into their potential. So we're going to kill that right there. We've gotten the who and the what and the why. Well, we got the why out of the way. We're going to get the what and all that other stuff later. But I just wanted to share that. I want to ask you guys a question. Give me your best response on this, because it looks like leadership, community, and transparency are some of the issues that we're having in Monroeville, the reason we're doing this show. How important, Butch, is leadership? Why is it so important?
Well, I mean, that's where everything starts. You got to have a great leader. I don't know where I'm going if I don't have a great leader to lead me. As far as in Monroeville, where we grew up, leadership is paramount. Um, we have a lot of kids there that right now that weren't able to experience what we experienced when we were there. We had great leaders, we had great principals, great teachers, people to look up to. It seems to me right now that that's missing. I'm not saying that they don't have leaders there, but it seems like the issues that they're having now in Monroeville is because of leadership. And I think that's a big part of success.
Yeah, totally. Crystal, same question, but tell me where you think the leadership is in Monroeville as well, based on what we've learned and seen.
I'm gonna put it down here where the goats can get it.
Uh-oh. Talk to
If
them,
you
Red.
kill the head, they say you kill the head, the body gonna die.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. So when you are putting people in positions of leadership, I urge any community or any group of people to never confuse their reputation with their character.
Good stuff.
Don't confuse the persona with the personality, and don't mistake image for true integrity.
Okay.
Late Catherine Howard used to say, everybody can talk the talk, but everybody can't walk the walk.
Right.
And true leaders, in the words of a lady that I know named Miss Hattie Spencer, can say, if you gonna lead anything, baby, you can't just get in the middle. If you ain't gonna be in the ranching, don't start getting in the washing.
Ooh,
you got to see it all the way through.
My
And
grandma.
the biggest thing about being a leader is, yes, you're gonna get some credit when it all goes well.
yes.
But are you willing to be held accountable and take responsibility when anything go wrong?
Very good point. And that was where I had my issue, is because I don't see any accountability based on our conversation last week. Now, that's still open. I think that we still have work to do, but I think that's very important. How important is community, Crystal? Because we had a good one back in the day. I know we reference the past a lot, but I just want you guys to see that so you see why we have so much passion. Why is community? Why is it important for the moms to be there at the games, helping the kids with their homework? Like what role does community play in all of this? Because everybody has a role to play.
If you don't have a common goal, if you don't have a shared sense of responsibility, you don't have a community. You just got an area of land with a bunch of houses on it and different people living in different houses, but it's not a community. If everybody does not buy into the mission and the goal, if I only worry about, well, my child is doing fine, I can afford to buy my child all of his equipment, I can get everything my child needs, but I don't give a damn about the child 5 houses down, and I don't care about everybody.
That's true.
That is so true.
You all rise together and you all fall together.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, transparency. I think we all have an issue with it. The reason for this show, guys, and I'm just going to be 100, is that we're having a transparency issue because everybody is asking the question, where's the money? We didn't come up with that question. You guys did. We are here to answer that question, or hopefully get to the bottom of it. So Why is it that everyone is calling for transparency, Butch? Why do you think that the community, now nobody will tell anybody that can change it. They just keep on talking. They just keep on talking about it. But why do you think there's so many rumblings about transparency, Butch? I want you to answer that too, Crystal, but I want Butch to answer that.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be as eloquent as Crystal is with my comments, but as Crystal was stating, it has to be a buy-in, and you have to look at the track record. If you're seeing things that aren't happening the way that they used to in the past, if you don't see things getting better, you're going to start questioning. And so when you start asking for money and all these different things, people are going to sit there and say, hey, that's the product. I'm not willing to pay for that product because I don't know who's benefiting from it. And so that's my biggest issue now, is that where is that money going? Or maybe it's not for me to ask that question. But transparency right now, a lot of people are saying, I want to help, but I'm not sure where this is going. There are a lot of people out there, a lot of alumni who are willing to give money, to bring this school back to where it needs to be. But a lot of people are afraid of giving their hard-earned money to what? We don't know where it's going and who's spending it.
Crystal?
So that's my biggest concern.
Yeah, mine too.
We can write a check, but we don't know where that's going.
And that's why we won't write a check. And that's why we're having this meeting.
Yeah.
All right, Crystal, talk to me. What is your thing about transparency?
Butch summed it up. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that if people give you money, if they make a donation for a stated purpose, if they make a donation for a stated purpose, they expect that money to be used for the intended purpose. So say that you've taken up money to put some lights in the stadium, and you've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, and every time I come down there, we in the dark, I'm gonna want to know what they do with the money. Yeah. What the light? I'm put honest now. You can either show me the money or you can show me the lights. I don't have to look at your books. I don't have to look at any of that. But after so long,
facts.
If you don't see what you want to see, you're gonna have a problem, because see, it's too many people asking the same question from too many places.
Right.
Too many people telling the same story. If I go to Frisco and I hear something, okay, I heard it in Frisco. I go to Uri, I hear it. Then I go to Franklin, I hear it. I go to Wainwright, I hear it. I go to Peterman, here. Then I go to Mexon, I hear it. Everybody ain't lying now. Everybody can't be lying. So you have had people coming to you saying, well, the fundraiser has been going on, but we don't know what's come in and we don't know what's going out. Okay. Then you hear somebody else say that. Then you start hearing former members who were there at its inception and former officers who say, when we raised certain questions, when we asked certain questions, we were kicked out of this organization or banned from the organization. That's very disturbing to me. And I don't care if it's alumni association. I wouldn't care if it's a church. Something ain't right. And I don't care what anybody's credentials are. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care what your religious affiliation. I don't care if you're a preacher, Dr. Indian Chief. Hell, Jim Jones was a preacher. He poisoned all them folk with Kool-Aid and they died. Yeah. So positions and titles don't make you right. If you are doing something correctly, right, and above board, you don't have any problem showing the people.
Right.
However, if you go around representing yourself as a nonprofit organization, you don't have to be transparent, because that's public record. That's public record. So if you're doing all that you say you're doing the right thing, the right way, for the right reason, let the people see. You ain't got to let me see now, because I didn't go to Monroe County High School, graduate. I'm not a member of the Alumni Association. You ain't got to show me, but you're going to show some damn back.
Now, she's not lying about that. She's not lying about that comment. I saw this on Crystal's page. You guys see this? there's only maybe 5 or 6 members of the Alumni Association. We have been non-members for the last 6 years because of the way things were being ran. Officers never changed. When we were going to come in and vote for new officers, they took the joining fee up to stop us from joining. Now, you notice I took away the name because that's not important. But this is what's being said. Now, I hope, for the record, we just brought the Alumni Association into it. So it is very important for me to show you guys this. As a broadcaster, I think it is fair for the Alumni Association be invited to this broadcast. This is my proof that they were. And I've made sure that they were aware that you are welcome to be here. We are going to talk about the Alumni Association because we need to talk about it. And I feel like for me to present a fair and balanced conversation, they deserve to be here as well. And not one person responded. Not one person showed any interest in being on this broadcast. So that is my disclaimer. Now we can carry on, Crystal. So the Alumni Association, let's talk about one of the fundraisers, because I don't know if they do more fundraisers. So I just got to say that we have to, we're talking here because we don't have them here. So all of this is alleged. I have to, for the record, say that as well. But the tailgate, that's $155 each space, Crystal. Talk to me, first of all, do you think that this is an effective fundraiser? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
Well, Mr. Carmichael over there is a technical math person. Now, he might not be as, I ain't as quick as he is, but 155 times 75 is around $11,000 and some change. If I can go somewhere and make $11,000 in a day, minus whatever overhead, I think we did pretty good. They have enough of them, That's just me now. That's just my country arithmetic. Now, I ain't none one of them calculus and all them kind of real, I'm just a little old colored country girl that know basic arithmetic. But 155 times 75, because that's how many spots they got out there. And if it's a lie, they told it because they got it on their Facebook page. I personally, if I was trying to hide everything, I wouldn't tell them, I wouldn't give you 75 times 155 is $11,000 and some change.
But that's if everyone participates. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me now, I'm not gonna try to talk above nobody's head, and I'm gonna be regular old Crystal that y'all all grew up with. From what I understand, I've never been out there now. I ain't gonna tell no lie. But from what I understand now, it be enough folks out there. They be out there like ants on a meat scheme.
Okay.
And that's just the tents. Now, if I could have all the folks out there, we might be able to pay off the national deficit. So it's a pretty good crowd. It's a good turnout. And I believe every spot gets filled, or just about every spot does filled.
Wasn't give them a parking fee? I'm sorry.
Pardon me?
I'm sorry. Wasn't there a parking fee as well?
You have to park to get into the game. So I don't know about the tailgate that you have to park. I don't know if I mean
they were taking up parking at the entrance.
At the tailgate?
I paid $5 to park.
Oh, yes. Really? I wasn't driving, so I don't remember. I was in somebody else's car.
I paid $5 to park.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's a whole different situation. Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, we do not know whether that fee was levied by the school or by the Alumni Association. Though that fee may have been the idea of school administration, and it may go to the school. So we don't know that. But I will salute whoever came up with the idea, because you have to be extremely brilliant. Ella, I get to throw a party in your yard, not my yard, but your yard, and get other people to pay.
And I don't get none of the money, and I don't get any of the money, Crystal. How you gonna rent out my yard? You don't own my yard. That yard belongs to me. Unless I give you permission. Unless I give you permission to rent space in my backyard, you shouldn't be there. Well, and therein lies the next thing. Yes.
So you saying that if I'm renting out your land for to have a party and people they use your land, that you should have a key say so in how much you should be able to know how much was raised and know where it's going,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. You're
Okay, but
benefiting out of my
okay.
yard. I need to get paid. Yeah.
Well, ma'am, the state of Alabama feels the same way because the school property is what you call a public asset.
Okay.
You pay
So
taxes in Monroe County? You pay taxes in
yeah.
Monroe County? You got a
Mhm.
house or something down there? You ever bought a bag of potato chips at the store, or you bought a bill or anything while you down there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, you pay some taxes. That's a public asset. And in the state of Alabama, that's my patio light keep going off. I ain't trying to hide nothing from y'all. In the state of Alabama, school grounds can't be used for private profit unless it is approved by the board.
Yes.
The funds must be transparent and benefit the school. And if the alumni group is profiting from the school property without oversight, it is a violation of public trust. Now, those things all fall under several clauses, sections, and subsections of the Alabama Code. So I'm not saying that they cannot do that. They most certainly can. It must be approved by the board. But there is a transparency clause in there in that they must be transparent about the funds and it must benefit the school. And if the oversight is not proper, it is a violation of public trust.
Now, Crystal, what if some of the money is going towards scholarships? Some of the money is going towards sending kids off to different events within the school, like convention or speaking engagements or whatever. What if some of the money is going and we can see that they are doing that? Because being fair to the association, I see that they do make posts about things that that people can see that money is benefiting the school. Is that enough, or do we need more transparency than that?
Because this organization holds itself out to be a charitable organization,
Yep.
then the funds that is taken in, the amount, the use of those funds
Got to be posted
must be
somewhere.
public knowledge.
Got to
They
be
must
posted.
use, I'm sorry, Butch, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it must be posted somewhere.
Yeah.
So do we know where they are? Can we see that list?
Well, the main thing is, in order for you to know how these funds are supposed to be used, they must be used in accordance with whatever is spelled out in the 1023 that is submitted to the Internal Revenue Service. Your 1023 is basically saying, this is who we are. This is what we want to do. These are our financials. This is how we're going to do it, where we're going to do it. This is how we're going to account for the funds that are raised. All of that. Whatever you told the IRS that you are going to do with that money, then you have to show in your community, civic, or whatever disbursement that you are doing with the funds what you said you were going to do. So all of that is public. All of that is supposed to be public. You cannot have an organization that is supposed to be using public funds to garner or based upon the garnering of public trust and not make everything about it public.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the minutes of the organization's the meeting schedule, the minutes of the meetings, the officers, and the board of directors, all of that is public, including who the registered agent is, who is responsible for getting the mail and all of the official documents. All of that is public.
So, Crystal, let me ask you a question then. So, getting the donations, because you started to talk about that. When is there a difference in asking for a donation or setting a price for a donation? Like, is there a certain thing that you can and can't do? Because I mean, they're specifically saying 155. I wonder if it could be less. Can it be whatever you want to give? How do we set? How do we figure out if that part? Let's talk about, can you ask for donations first of all? Let's address that.
Okay, you want to know what the legal framework is for asking for donations?
Yes, yes.
Okay, if you say that you are a charitable organization to benefit a school or whatever you say you're benefiting, you must be registered in the state of Alabama. And I'm speaking specifically to Alabama because that is where we are. In the state of Alabama, you must first register yourself with the Secretary of State's office as a nonprofit or charitable organization, and you must file a charter. And you must also file your intent with the Attorney General's office and be given the permission or authorization to solicit funds in the state of Alabama. You can do that while if you haven't gotten your 1023 filed and you don't have your determination letter. A determination letter is that letter from the IRS that says this is a recognized charitable organization and they have 501c3 status, and all of your donations to this organization, whether you give a dime or $1,000, is deductible.
It's tax deductible. Yeah.
You may not get that 1023 filed immediately, and it is a long process. However, once that 1023 is accepted and it is approved by the IRS, then it is retroactive back to the date that you first filed it.
Right.
So in order for you to say that you are a nonprofit organization benefiting a school, an institution, or a cause, you have to have all of that paperwork in order. If you don't, you are operating outside of the bounds of the law.
Been in violation, definitely.
You're operating outside the bounds of the law. Now, if you start shaking the rafters for money and you say you're doing one thing with it and you're not doing that, if you look good in orange and you like living in, quarters with a whole bunch of other people, you can continue to do that.
So Crystal, so let me ask you this question. So then
Yes,
how
ma'am.
is it that all these years the alumni has been operating this way and no one has said anything? How is it that this has been acceptable? Are you saying that perhaps they're doing this because the school has accepted it, the board, because the school board is responsible for the running of the high school? Someone had to approve them to do this.
It comes down to a very common disease that kind of affects a lot of communities, especially communities of color, sometimes called IDGAF.
What does that mean?
I don't give a.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, everybody busy. Nobody has time. It's kind of like one of them things where everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. Everybody want a nice stadium. Everybody want a winning football team. They want pretty cheerleaders, flag girls, people twirling the baton. They want a spelling bee. They want a band. They want all of that. But they sit back and say, somebody ought to make sure them children got this and that. And see, since you got so many everybody's that's thinking that somebody should do it, and then just anybody decided that they would do it, nobody checked in to see what they were doing. And you got some people, if you come around some people, you say the right thing, do the right thing, look like you're doing the right thing, you got the right title, and you present yourself a certain way. They too busy to vet whether you real or not, and they just think you okay. And for the most part, in defense of my hometown, we've never had a bunch of people come through that town, ride rogue and steal. When people said they were doing what they were doing, they did it for the right reason. So this is new for them to have somebody come off and saying they're raising money for the kids at the school to benefit the school. They just didn't ask any question because they put their trust in these people and believed that they were going to do the right thing, the right way, for the right reason. They gave them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So then now, so where are the checks and balances?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Last week, when we asked the coach about the fundraisers, and he didn't know where the money was, it was just not, didn't feel confidence in that, because we're talking about, and we're not talking like 10, 15, $20,000 from what they're making off of it, but whatever it is, because we can't go out here, rightfully so, and say, guys, we need $100,000. You heard what the coach said. And the first thing they're going to say is, Ella, but don't you have organizations there that are already fundraising? Yeah. Okay, well, how much money did they come up with? I don't know. You see how that sounds? It sounds crazy, right, Butch?
It does.
I wouldn't even feel right asking anyone to buy or pay or invest in anything if there's no transparency. Now, we have a homecoming coming up. Crystal and Butch. They're currently getting these $155 donations from the classes. There, I think, are like 24 right now. That comes out to like over $3,000 or so, $3,720 to be exact. And there could be more that are coming. What would you say to people that are on the fence? Because I think you got a call today of people wondering, hey, we don't really know what to do here. Like, we want to do it, but we don't really know what to do. What would you say to them, Butch?
Still come and show your tiger pride. Still come to the school, show your pride. We're trying to do what we can to help our community, our kids. But there's still questions. I can't answer them. I'm asking questions myself. So I would say it's up to the individual. For me, I'm on that fence as well, because we don't know where the money's going. We're seeing some progress, I guess, around the field or on the track, but never in my career or my stay there playing sports or whatever, have I ever had to go out and beg for someone to buy me a helmet or to buy some shoulder pads or whatever. So I don't get where it's coming from. We have what, 20 players on the team?
I think it's like 30 to 40 players, I think, yeah.
Still, I mean, are we not getting any support from the state? If we are, where is that money going?
Where are the grants? That's right.
Just the questions. There's so many questions that people are having. People are calling me, asking me. I don't know. I don't know what to tell those individuals, because we are all on the fence.
Well, I want you to address this. Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, there were some school reform acts going back a few years that require that school systems actually furnish pads, the school boards or, school districts furnish helmets, pads, girdles, and certain other equipment, because without furnishing those items, they open themselves up to some liability.
Correct. Safety issue. It's a safety issue. Yeah.
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not an athlete, I'm not a coach, I don't claim to be, but I do know that in some cases where students have been injured and litigation has ensued or followed, each state has a high school athletic association. The Alabama High School Athletic Association has some guidelines and some directives in place about what each child must have. And the verbiage of that I read, and the verbiage of, I think it's the School Reform Act of 1972, or it's Title VI, under Title VI, that equipment is something that should be a given. Not only the pads and the girdles and the helmets, but also the jersey and the pants that they wear.
Right.
And there's some other things like back enders or something, the certain weight things for them to train and develop. Those are some basics. But I looked at a list that was supplied of the needs that they had, and the majority of what is on that list are things that should already be there, that the school board or the school district might need to take a look at to see if they are in compliance with what the Alabama High School Athletic Association says. I'm not an authority on that, but I do know that after looking at that list, I'm like, wait a minute. I've never known a parent to have to go out and, buy the whole suit up for the kid.
Yeah,
And
me
so
either. I was shocked as
that
well. Yeah.
it seems like that some of that stuff should be supplied by the school district, and that it is mandatory that it has to be there according to the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
I agree.
And here's where I'm going to stick a pin in that one is, how do we know they didn't? How do we know that the school board hasn't addressed some of these concerns? Maybe the money was misused. Now, I want to show this, because I told you guys, whenever I bring one up, I want us to talk about it. Sims Linnell says here that the saddest thing of all, as a class member, and she says, I'm speaking for myself, I've never questioned why we had to rent a space and or where was the money collected going. But then right behind her, we get another person that says, yeah, it needs to be checked into. So you got two issues and concerns back to back. I want you guys to speak on that.
Read that first question again, Ella. I want to make sure I understand what she's saying.
She's just saying that she's never questioned it. She's like, yeah, I rent the space and I never questioned where the money was going.
Okay. May I respectfully ask the question, why is it that she never questioned it?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Or did she just automatically, if they told her that it was going to benefit the school, did she just automatically believe that? Is that why she never questioned? But I would like to know the reason why she never thought to question it.
I mean, to me, to be honest with you, I was surprised when I found out, honestly, that the donations are received through Cash App. I was a little taken back by that, because there are donation sites you can create where it's open and you can create an Excel so that any moment someone says, okay, how much money did you guys raise for donations in 2025 for the tailgate? Boom, here it is. Here are all the donors, the amount they paid, and here's where it went. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? And if we don't question it, this needs to be the new day. You should never. And another thing, because they're not 501c3, it's not a tax deductible for you guys. And then I have another question. If you are receiving all this money, how are you reporting it on income tax? Someone has to pay taxes on that if you're not 501c3. Explain that part, Crystal.
Well, if they are indeed a 501c3 organization and they actually do have a CP 575 or a 147 or the letter of determination, if they've got all of their ducks in a row, then somewhere I should be able to find, if the donations exceed $50,000 a year, I should be able to find a 990. If they are not in excess of $50,000 a year, I should be able to see where they filed an N990 postcard, or the short form, or the 990 EZ. But either way, over the last 3 years, if they are indeed an organization that is authorized to solicit funds from the public, I should be able to go and find a 990, a 990 EZ, or the postcard.
It is absolutely true. I have a nonprofit and I have to do it every year.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
So it's real, guys. And I don't know why anybody has a problem with being transparent. And another thing too, here's what she said, Crystal, you asked the question. She says, I just thought I could trust the process.
And
that's fair.
That's very fair. And ma'am, in a perfect world where everybody was raised like we were taught to be when we were growing up in good old Monroeville, you
Right.
should have been able to do so. And when
And
I
I think,
asked that question,
yeah,
it wasn't an indictment. It was just,
right, right.
I figured that you were going to say that. And what you said, young lady, is probably the sentiment of most people. They said that they were taking it up for the school, and we just trusted them to be doing the right thing.
That's it.
And and we're not saying, listen, let me just for the record say, Alumni Association, we appreciate your efforts, what you guys came together for. It was a good thing. Because you brought the pride, and I for one had a great time last year. How everything was put together, all the classes coming together. It's a great thing. But in the middle of all the partying, we can't remember there's a purpose. It's not about the party, it's about those kids. And
Right.
we've lost sight of the purpose. And that's why we're having this show. We need to get back. This is, yes, we want to celebrate. But I, for one, and I'm guilty, I didn't even go to the game. And I was not the only one that was still under the tent having fun and not going to the game. We should have all been in the game, and that money would have gone directly to the booster club and they would have turned it directly over to the high school. And we would have known it would have gone straight to the school. Now, for the space, why not let the booster club take up the money? Why does the Alumni Association have to do it? Why can't it change from year to year? Let's negotiate this contract. Let's make sure that the money is going where it is. I hope that after this broadcast, the school board, and I figure you guys are probably watching, and I hope so. I want you to reevaluate this. Pull the contract. Why did we start doing this? Where's the money going? Who made the contract? Who decided that the Alumni Association gets to decide where it goes? Why didn't we negotiate for the school? But then on the other hand, you want to turn around and ask people for $100,000. It doesn't work like that. You got to do your part. And if you guys are not being responsible to what you agreed upon, then it's time to change the agreement. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to knock alumni. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Would you be willing to share that list?
Sure. Yeah, Crystal and I both have it. We'll make sure. It's just a list that he sent of all the stuff they need. And it's a lot. And it's all equipment. And that's scary to me that we have a football program, we have an athletic director, we have a principal, we have a school board, and we have the coach coming to Facebook and WKRG talking about what he needs. And he didn't do any harm. He didn't do anything malicious. He just cares about those kids and wants to see them with what they need. How many kids, Butch, have you ever had to share your shoulder pads or helmet?
Never.
Okay.
Never. It's always plentiful.
And I just want to know what happened, guys. What happened? What happened? This is not about pointing fingers. That's not what this really is. But we got to address it. I'm not gonna be that person to know that there's an issue, know that something has been presented to me, and not try to bring people together. It should be more people from Monroeville on this show. Why isn't it? Why are people afraid to say what they need? Say why they're upset. You're telling us that you're mad. We don't know where the money's going. Tell them. Tell them. Stop supporting something that doesn't align with your values. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling anybody one way or another what to do, whether to go to the tailgate or whether not to support, because your money is going to. Just demand transparency. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you have a kid that's out there in that field. You should be the main one wanting to know that this money is going to help your kid get a helmet. And for crying out loud, these kids may need tutors. We need to make sure that everything is not just about football. We need to develop these kids' minds and social skills so that when they're put out here in college, do you guys remember when you first went to college, Crystal and Butch? How confident did you feel that you learned in high school? How confident were you when you walked on that campus for the first time, even as a college student? How confident were you?
Well, I was ready.
See?
I was ready. We had some of the greatest teachers around, even teachers in our own community. You know, we were able to go into their homes and you know, be tutored and all that. So I mean, I was ready. the community. It was amazing. So yeah, you got that
And
confidence, and it starts at home though.
oh yeah, starts at home.
It, it,
1000%.
it, it starts at home,
Yeah,
and
1000.
we talk about the village. Go ahead, Crystal.
I agree. I agree. That's all I can say. I know this right here. I can name you alumnus or people that have graduated from Monroe County High School or matriculated through the Monroe County public school system who can hold their own anywhere in the world. You have a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist who is a
Yeah.
graduate of
Monroe County High
Monroe
School.
County
Yeah.
High School. You have physicians on the faculty of medical schools. You have the first state epidemiologist that is African American and a woman. Dr. Renee Rush Dotson is a graduate of Monroe County High School. The American Journal, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution editor and Pulitzer Prize winner for journalism is Cynthia Tucker. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
You have people who have excelled in every field: medicine, law, music, in the trades, that walk through those halls. And those extracurricular activities, those choir, band, football, baseball, basketball, gave scholarships. Some of
Right.
those kids got a dream and a talent that when you put those together with backing from a community, that's their ticket up out of that town. Now, Monroeville is home. Home it is, but heaven it ain't. The economy has dried up.
Facts.
So just
Right.
like, well, and if anybody want to know, well, why do I care? When I was in that choral room in that school and Sarah Ann Blast was making me hit those notes,
Yeah.
and I could go to Birmingham and they brought kids there singing arias from all over. I didn't know what I was singing because I couldn't sing. I don't speak Italian, but because of Monroe County High School, I can damn sure sing in it. And just like this little colored girl from the country has had the chance to share the stage with world famous people and travel this world doing what I love, I owe it to another kid with a dream to do the same thing.
Amen.
Facts.
I owe that
Amen.
to
Right.
Monroe. Now, it ain't perfect. It wasn't always pretty, but it's home. And just like somebody reached back and got me and gave me a chance, we owe that to those kids. I'd rather see that
Right.
than for us to be coming home talking about they got some shirts made, you know, they're going to have the funeral Saturday. Y'all took some drinks or some food by the family's house. I'm sick of seeing 18, 19-year-old children faces on t-shirts. They dead, dying. I have been
Right.
to more young folk. I done seen more ads of obituaries of young folks in the Monroe Journal dead than old folks. Do you know it's more young folk been dead, buried down there? I have had more young people's funerals posted than people my mama age. And my mama's 75 years old.
Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
sad.
That's true.
sad. Yeah.
A child with no dream and no hopes becomes a child that break in your house, start selling dope, stealing your car.
That is true. That's a very good point. Now
But look, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna add on to what Crystal was just saying. My question would be: is where are those parents? Where is that village? Because I can go home now to Monroeville and I don't see that village. You know, where are the Tuckers? Where are the Carmichaels? Where are those people that we grew up with that I would be afraid to go to their house and act up because I don't want them to tell my mom.
What?
And now
Yeah.
they, it's no longer there. So that's what we're missing right now. Again, it starts at home. So that's my thing. I'm sorry, Ella, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think that you make a good point because remember, we started this off by saying that community transparency and leadership, that's the cornerstone, really. And we haven't talked about the church yet because when we were growing up, we had to be in church. We were in church for stuff that we didn't even know didn't know what they were talking about, but they kept us.
That church right there, Ella.
Yeah.
The church that we grew up in, that church gone, it's dead. Most of these churches now ain't worth going in. They ain't talking about nothing. They ain't doing nothing. the church sounds just like the club. You go in there, folks half naked, the music, ain't nobody singing like when y'all Butch. When your mom and your aunties used to come up in there, you knew you was in church. Now they singing hallelujah. You don't know whether you at a pep rally at the club.
Facts. That's facts.
You know, them preachers used to come in there with them robes on, and you take communion, you go somewhere and sit down. Them ushers in there that was the church police.
Weren't they?
Right.
If you got some gum in your mouth, baby, give me that gum.
Right.
There was
I don't know
order.
where these punk ass ushers come from. Not cheering, walking all over, folks sitting.
That's facts.
And you know, the preacher got to be through preaching in 14 minutes and 59 seconds. He can't tell you what thus says the Lord. Can't nobody tell nobody nothing no more. It is no way in the world. I remember Butch's grandmama when Miss had that corsage on the shoulder and the hat. When she look up under that hat and talk up under that, now she gonna offer you a piece of peppermint candy. Now you don't stop cutting the food after you get that piece of peppermint candy. She didn't care nothing about you.
Facts.
Miss Hattie Spencer tell you who your mama, Maureen. Who your dad at that time, Floyd.
That's it. That's it.
They didn't care.
That's it.
Anybody could. Everybody order. So children don't have that generational that we had. They don't have a community where, you know, everybody knew everybody on the street and everybody. Then you think about it now. The child in school 15, his mama 29, his grandma maybe 32. His grandmama got a quick weave and some eyelashes on. You know, our grandmamas had them house coats and them hair rollers. They humming around the house, giving you a tea cake, giving you a dose of syrup of black grout. Take this castor oil and go over there and lay down. But these grandmamas coming up here. Grandmama got a bundle. She got some bundles, quick weave. She got them lashes sitting up on her eyelid like she got some tarantulas on her eyelids. Grandma, you did not want your mama called out to the school back then.
That's right.
You call the police before you call my mama. But now,
exactly.
You call the mama, she getting out the car with her bonnet and her pajamas on like she just rolled out the bed. She coming up there to whoop the teacher. And we don't have teachers like we used to have. These teachers different. Do anybody remember Miss Lola Ree Kidd, Miss Eva Crow?
Yeah.
Did George Prill ever paddle you? George Prill didn't have to paddle me. I was scared. I didn't want to be hit by George Prill.
Yeah, most people were scared of those paddlings. Yeah. We got some.
I was scared of Miss Lola Ree Kidd. Do anybody remember Miss Roberta Starber wasn't even a regular teacher? Her. She was the substitute teacher, and you didn't play with her?
Sure didn't. We were terrified of her. That's real talk. Yeah.
So even though all of those people and those traditions are gone, I'm just gonna put everybody, you know, I'm gonna put it down here where the ghosts can get it. When you have a homecoming or something happening in Monroe, folks be coming in there with fleets, baby. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Michael Kors, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, and all that. And we see y'all on the Facebook getting flued out somewhere, and we can't raise no money for these children and know where the hell it's going.
Facts.
Oh no.
Facts.
$100,000. Monroe County High School math now, J.F. Shields math. I don't know about this fancy math we might be done learned since we left home, but $100,000 ain't nothing but 100 people giving $1,000.
That's facts.
That's facts.
That's facts.
Now, if they got, and from what I see on this post, Butch, you know how you used to be out there on that football field? They couldn't punk you down. So between me and you, I feel like they ain't got to find but 98 more people.
We've already said it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to write the check, but I don't know where it's going.
There you go. What that song that you sing about? I got 5 on it. Can I get 98 more people? I got 1,000 on. Come on, going once, going twice. But we're gonna let you know where it's going because this is gonna go directly to the school.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I got a nephew. My nephew is the starting quarterback. So for anybody who asks, I got some skin in the game. Because that's my nephew out there. And I want to see him have some good stats. I want to see him with a good GPA. I told him, you get your GPA where I want it, you shall go to camp because I'm going to send you. They ain't got to send you. I send you.
Those facts.
Okay? It's some other children that it's a little girl there, Ella. She with some crooked teeth and her hair parted with them two plaits sticking out like we used to have. She want to get up out of the little town and go somewhere. We owe her that.
That's right. Amen. Absolutely. That's what this is all about. So let me ask you guys both a question. We know the need. We know the cheerleaders are raising money. They need a flag. They need certain things. We know that the football team has needs and everything. What do you need to see, Butch and Crystal, to convince you to write a check to Monroe County High School or to the Booster Club or to the Alumni Association or to someone that we know is going to turn it over to the school? What do you need to see? Starting with you, Butch. What do you need to see?
I mean, I need to see transparency. I need to know where this money is going, but I also need to see records of other monies and how it was spent.
Okay.
How was the money spent last year? Where did it go last year? You know, as I stated, you know, we have the checkbooks ready, but we need to be confident to know that the money, that our hard-earned money, is going to the kids. That's what it's all about. It's all about the kids. You know, I've played football there. I ran track there. I played baseball there. So I know the pride that's there, you know, and I know who helped us, who helped me. I saw Thomas Richardson. I saw all these guys that's in the chat now. We suited up on Friday nights.
That's
And we didn't
right.
have to worry about equipment. We didn't have to worry about where that money
Right.
was coming from, all those different things. And I feel that the kids today shouldn't have to worry about that as well.
Exactly.
You know, they shouldn't be having fundraisers to try to raise money for a helmet or for a shoulder pad. They should say, I want to play, and it's there. That's all we worried about. We wanted to
Exactly.
play
I agree.
football. The equipment was there. Come down to the field house. We're going to get you suited up. We're going to get you measured. That's all we worried about. So we have enough alumni. They may not be able to give $1,000 or $100. Anything would help, but I want to be able to sleep good at night knowing that the money that I worked hard for and that I'm giving to the community, giving to these kids, is actually going to the kids. And so right now, I don't feel that. And that's what it's going to
Okay.
take. I need to see some transparency. I need to see where money's been spent over the years. Where is it going? Who's
That's
spending it?
fair. That's fair. What about you, Crystal? What do you need to see?
What do I need to see?
Yeah.
I I need to see a properly filed document with the Secretary of State stating that you are a charitable organization. I need to see that you have gained authority from the Attorney General's office. I need to see where you either have a letter of determination or I need to see a copy of the 1023 that you filed so that you could get that, so that I can see that you have, at least if you haven't gotten the letter back, you are in the process of getting it. I would need to be able to see who your officers are. I would like to even possibly see, no, I would not like to. I must know who's on your board of directors. You show me an organization that you say is charitable. They got some officers. They don't have no board of directors. I need to see the board of directors. I need to see the officers. I need to see your bylaws. I need to see your charter. I don't have to look into the bank account just yet, but it would be nice to know which financial institution do you entrust these funds to? And we can ask nicely. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I don't have to ask no more because I'm going to ask you, I said, please. The federal government don't say please. No, thank you. They said right now.
Do you think that
We,
this should be looked? Do you think that this should be looked into further than just us talking about it, or the school board, us, going to the school board? I mean, do you think that this is something that is so serious enough that it needs to be looked into on a legal matter?
I'm going to say it like this. I grew up in Monroe. I've been black 3 times. I was a little black girl. I was a black babe. I'm a grown black woman. I know black folks. As much as we've been talking about this on Facebook and all what was said in the meetings and on the posts and in your show last week, somebody that need to know already know. Okay? Ain't no secrets except between one person. Only way 2 people keep a secret, one of them got to be dead. those that should know by now do know.
They know.
They might not be saying nothing.
They know.
Okay. So if they know, then I am terrified of any school board or group of people who will do what is attributed to Edmund Burke when he said the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Right.
Amen.
Now, I've been running my mouth all week, and anybody who know me know I can talk a cat off a fish truck when I get ready.
We know.
I used to sell chains to convicts, ice to Eskimos. Surely someone has been convinced that even if they don't find nothing, even if everything is all right, something is amiss and it needs to be looked. In other words, man, I ain't telling you nothing wrong. I ain't trying to scare you, but you do need to go and look and see what's going on.
Now, you
And
know,
the other thing is this, right? The other thing is this me now. If you were lying on me, if you tell a lie on me, I want to get that cleared up, crystal clear. You ain't gonna lie on me for you ain't gonna lie on me for a whole week now. And I don't do nothing. Nothing.
No, I think that's a good point. That is why I invited the alumni to this call, because I think it's fair. I think they should be here answering these questions, and it would kill all of this.
You invited everybody?
Yes. That I know of. Yes. Yes. So we have one person here that says, yes, look into it. So I want you guys to realize we're not making this up. This is not coming from me. This is not coming from Butch. This is not coming from Crystal. People who are used to giving donations understand what to expect. We give donations, and I know when I give donations, I usually get a tax deduction from it because the company is 501c3. So that's one disservice you guys are doing to the people. They're paying this money, and they're paying it by Cash App, which I'm offended by. I think that is so raggedy. I'm sorry. I had to say it. Cash App, I think we could do better than that, guys. I think we could do better than that.
Wait. No, not necessarily now. Hold up. Now, like Miss Hattie Spencer, now the devil might have brought it, but the law still might have sent it. Because everybody who paid with a Cash App got proof that they paid and who they paid.
Facts.
Now, it might not be the most sophisticated way to do it. I was always told that once you get that CP 575 or that 147, you go down to the bank, and that is your key there, that the lady gonna open you up a nice bank account. They're gonna give you a bank book, a little envelope. They used to give you a toaster, a blender, but they don't do that no more. But you take that determination letter down there, or you ain't got to wait till to get the determination letter. Once you get that EIN number, you can go to any bank, credit union, and open you a bank account. So you should have a bank account. But now again, don't sleep on Cash App now, because Cash App keep records. Once you take in over $600, Cash App gonna send you some notification. They're gonna say, hey, you, over here. We know you got this right here.
All right, hush mouth.
But it's also easier to manipulate. I can say I didn't get 10,000. I only got 6 because it's not in a bank. I'm putting what I want to go in the bank. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Okay, well, let me tell you. When it comes to money, people of a certain low intelligence level might think this. Let me tell you something. You can fool some of the people all the time. You can fool all the people sometimes. You ain't gonna fool everybody every time. Cash App don't miss.
Yeah.
If I send you a Cash App, you can say you didn't get it, but they got a record of the transaction. And if you're doing anything that is not right on Cash App and your intentions are not pure, because sometimes that Cash App comes out of one bank account and goes into another. Wire fraud is ugly.
Wow. I just think that when you do things the right way and you have a link and people pay through that link, just hit the button that says donate, create a website. then there's no way for that to really be manipulated because it's kept a record of through that site, right? And it's you can see who donated. I think you can see who donated even on some of these donation things. But this, I was holding up Scott's comment. He said, "There's nothing wrong with cash out." I guess I know he means cash out being one of the avenues to donate. No, there's no reason, nothing wrong with it. It's just not a good practice, from what I've heard and learned. That having an actual link is better. But thank you, Scott, for that comment. You're right. You can give that way, but I mean, it's just what's wrong with having an actual real donation? What's wrong with being legit? I mean, it's been around long enough. Why can't we evolve into something that's a little more professional? So that, or this is what, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that another organization at the school should do the tailgate? Yes or no?
Is that a question they're asking us?
I'm asking that question. Do you think that it should be extended to, let's say, the Booster Club or any other, I think they have PTO at the high school. Club? You have Booster Club. Yeah, they have Booster Club. There are other people that are affiliated with the school that are directly affiliated, because the Booster Club, that money, because what I learned about the Booster Club is that when they run the gate, when they run the concession stand for the visitors, and when they run the parking, that money at the end of the night is turned over to the high school directly. What they do with it after that. So for the people that say, oh, the Booster Club is taking money, I spoke to someone in the Booster Club. They did explain their process to me. So they at least responded. And they're like, no, we don't have any control over it. We have to do a requisition to ask for money if there's something we need to buy. So then it's turned over to the school. And I'm assuming that it's the school, any money that's going to the school, they have a bank account for each of these organizations. And then it goes, I don't know the process. I just know that they don't hold on to any money, the Booster Club. So if they operate like that and they turn it over directly to the school, why shouldn't the Booster Club run it? Why not alternate? Go between, let the alumni do it one year. Let the Booster Club do it. Or take it from them. Evaluate the deal and see what's the best thing for the school. That's all I'm saying.
Which club is responsible for the athletics at County High now? Do we know?
I'm going to say the Booster Club. I don't really know, because I know the Booster Club is responsible, I guess, for all of the sports.
So if we're going to help the football program, so the athletic program, who are we giving that donation to? Do we know?
Say that again.
So if we're gonna give money to the football team, who are we giving that to? We're not giving it to the coach. We're not giving it to the school. Is there a club there that's responsible for that, or how does that work?
I'm gonna say that it would be the Booster Club. I'm gonna say, because the sale. Or perhaps we need to call the school board and ask them. Maybe we need to get more transparency on how they operate, because I know that the school board is responsible for the school. They are the leaders of the school and everything that goes on in there. So perhaps that's a better conversation. Maybe we need to switch hands with who gets the money. Maybe we need to not give it to something that's not directly tied to the school, because from what we understand, Crystal, the Alumni Association does not have an arrangement that they turn everything over to the school.
Say what?
This is what that they don't have to turn everything over to the school. This is the other side that I'm hearing about the Alumni Association. They don't have an agreement with MCHS that we're going to turn you over everything.
Hold up now. Yeah. Wait a minute. I thought that it's all rumor or allegation at this point. But I did hear that is there not supposed to be a contract in place? Or has someone mentioned that there is a contract with Monroe County High School, between Monroe County High School and the Alumni Association?
This is some of the, but I don't know what's true. But yes, I have heard that there is a contract that obligates them to Monroe County High School for life, for permanent. I hope that's a lie, because that would be horrible.
I don't know if it's a lie, but I know it's illegal.
Right.
Because if any contracts go on like that, there's a contract process. There's a bid contract. So if that's the case, then the Booster Club should have also submitted a contract, because when you start giving out contracts like that, if I'm not mistaken, there must be a submission of at least 3 contracts.
Okay, we
And
got
if
our
I'm
answer.
wrong, yes.
Crystal, we got our answer right here. Shatunda, she says there has never been a contract between the school and the Alumni Association.
Okay,
So
thank
then
you,
that
Ms. Howard.
tells me then that they're not obligated to turn over any of their monies to the high school. They can if they want, but they're not obligated.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. If you say you are the Monroe County High School Alumni Association, and your mission and charter statement says that you are, in your inception, you were created, founded, and formed to raise funds for Monroe County High School as an alumni association, you need to do what you said you were going to do.
So then who obligated the tailgate to be done by the alumni if there's no agreement? Is that a verbal agreement? Have we just grandfathered them in? Why?
So there's no, Miss Howard said, and if I'm not mistaken, Miss Howard is a former principal of Monroe County High School, correct?
She is a former, yes, she is.
Right.
She said there's never been a contract between the school and the Alumni Association.
Okay,
That's
so
good
in other
information.
words, so I can come down there next week and set up a tailgate next week, right?
I'm sure somebody had to approve them to be out there. Miss Howard, if you know that information, please share. Who approved the Alumni Association to start doing tailgates at the high school? Who approved it? I would love to know that. And I would also like to know where money is going for all the other agencies. I think there's a PTO organization, parent teacher organization at the high school. They have an annual fundraiser, from what I understand, from school officials, that they have a fair every year, the county fair. Now go figure that. Now, how much money you think they're probably making? Where is that money going? I think everybody needs to be investigated. I think we need to, I think the school board needs to, I'm just being honest. I think the school board needs to start from scratch. Let's talk about who's doing what on these school grounds. Why are we doing this with the tailgate? What is the deal we have with them? We don't have a deal. Okay, well, for right now, everything that's coming to Monroe County High School needs to go through our agencies that are directly aligned with our athletic department. If you're not aligned with our athletic department, then you don't do any business here unless we have a different kind of deal.
Okay,
we gotta peel it back. Yeah, Shatanda said, okay, let's keep it going. Oh, and another thing, but you asked the question about making a check out. They're saying that you should be able to give it to the school directly. Let me tell you what Shatanda said, because I wanna make sure we get that, because she did answer your question. Let me see here. I want to make sure we get it, because okay, here we go. She said you can pay directly to the school and get a receipt on site. So for those people that want to help the athletic department, you go there and you say it is for the athletic department, they will give you a receipt. There you go. So anybody that wants to give and just doesn't know which way to do that, that's it. Let me look at all of my other comments here. And Cynthia said the same thing. You should be able to just go to the bookkeeper. Entities can request use of school property without school permission. The school board grants sole permission. So there you go. That's how the Alumni Association was granted permission to be at the high school through the school board. It had nothing to do with the high school. That's what it looks like here. The PTO's account is at the school as well. So all of these monies and everything is attached to the school. So it sounds to me like everything's attached to the school, then the school board just should be able to ask for those records and see where the money went, right? So that should answer that question. If everything is going to the school, then the school should have an accounting of what's going on with the money. Yes? Do we agree? All right, so school board, let's get with it. Scott Biggs says, does the athletic department have a mission plan? What are they trying to accomplish with the money that they are raising? That's a good question, Scott. Based on the coach from last week, he basically said the majority, he did say that the field house was in bad shape, that the ceiling was in bad shape, that the kids need helmets. They're having to share with the middle school, I think he said. They're having to share shoulder pads. That's what we were trying to establish in last week with the coach. What do you need? And he's the one that came up with the $100,000. That's how much it's going to take to get it up to par. So,
And they have
my cousin
Ella,
says,
are you able to? Are you able to share that? Are you able to share that on your screen? The list, the needs list that they sent out.
I can.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Can you drop it in our private chat here? If you can drop it real quick, yeah, we could do that, because I think it's important for people to see it. Absolutely.
And you may need to cue me, and you may see another cue of me backstage. Let that one in, and then take the other one out. There you go.
Okay, there we go. All right, good deal. I think we should share it. We'll get that for you guys. I think you got to turn something off, because I can hear me twice.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I have it. There we go. It's gone now. There we go.
Okay.
I do want you guys to see that. So y'all keep talking. Let me find it. Okay. But anyway, I don't want to get distracted with that. So she says a good question here. It would cut down on all the questions if someone from the alumni would be present to answer questions. I agree, my cousin.
Totally.
I invited them to be here, and they're not here. And I don't want them to feel. That's why I tried to be transparent in my message. I don't want them to feel like anybody's going to beat up on them. I don't believe in that, nor do we do that here on the show. I think it's a fair thing, and it would cut down all of these allegations of misuse and a misappropriation of funds if you guys were here to answer those questions. And you may feel like you don't owe, but it's because of this lack of transparency that's making people not want to give. And we can't have that. So let me ask you a question, Crystal. There's been rumors that there's a group of people that want to start a new alumni association. Do you think that's the answer?
It might be.
You think so? What do you think about that, Butch?
Yes. Of course. You've had the opportunity to show up. Accusations that have been made, you had the opportunity. You have your show, other places, to come and say, guys, we're an open book. Here's transparency. This is what's going on. This is where everything's going. And you choose not to. So there's no trust from the community, from the alumni. So I would say yes.
Okay. And then would you be happy if we had a new association that was transparent? Would that make you want to give and be involved in everything?
Totally.
Okay.
Of course.
You too, Crystal?
Yeah, because this is my concern. I realize that the demographics of the school may have changed over the years.
Yeah.
But if there were another organization that represented a public school that had as diverse of a student body and as diverse as an alumni as Monroe County High School, if it were reversed, we would be up in arms if there was an organization that claimed to represent the alumni of Monroe County High School, and they were all white. There was all the officers were white, the board of directors were white, and nobody black could find out anything, know anything. Nobody black is an officer, nobody black is a member. Now, so let me be very clear. I am not saying that an organization is not validated, verified, unless they have white members. But I will tell you this. If you are a 501c3 designated entity, and if you are receiving public funds, and if by chance you decide that you are going to apply for federal grants as well to assist in the school, you cannot have any appearance that anything that is discriminatory or exclusive. So how is it also that we have an organization? There is not one person who went to school at Monroe County High School along the time that we went that did not have someone that they had a relationship, a positive relationship of another race, whether they still living or dead.
That's true.
So how is it that this school that was built upon camaraderie and unity, black and white athletes playing together, black and white cheerleaders cheering together, and at that time we even had a white homecoming queen and a black homecoming queen to represent everyone, to show that it was a diverse institution in good faith? How is it now that that diversity is not reflected in the alumni association, in its members, in its officers, or on its board?
I think that's a great idea. It should be fairly represented. That is not a good depiction of all the people that went to County High. You're right. But I mean, everybody had, I mean, I don't know how it was advertised that it was getting started. I don't know if people had access to be able to know they could join. So I don't know a lot of that, but I do want to bring this comment back up because this is interesting. The school board may need to be looked into because I've been watching for this since the beginning. It may be some discrepancies there. Let's speak on it. Now, you know that's bad when we don't trust the school board. Crystal, that's the start. That is the head. That's the top. And you're telling me there may be some discrepancies with the school board? Butch, Crystal, talk to me. What do you think about that? Reading that.
Oh, I'm still reading that.
That's
scary. I mean, at the end of the day, it's scary. I'm gonna bite my tongue on this one. Crystal, go ahead and respond. I'm gonna bite my tongue on this one.
Well, I'm gonna speak.
I may hurt some feelings.
I'm gonna speak truthfully. I'm gonna speak honestly. I'm not gonna speak in a defamatory or accusatory manner. Gotcha. But sometimes you have to speak truth to power. Okay.
I 100% with that.
In all fairness, let's give the school board the benefit of the doubt. All of the members of the school board were not elected at the same time. Some have been there longer than others. Some may have been more familiar with the past high school administration. Some of the school board may not know. They may not have known how this was working. Okay, if there's a new school board member, they may not know. You also have to look at the fact that the school board is responsible for knowing. Just like ignorance of the law is no excuse for us, ignorance of what's going on will not suffice for the school board. If you don't know, or if you didn't know, you now know, and you are responsible for taking the appropriate action that you do know. The problem is this right here. From way down in the country where I'm from, not so many yards on the back of my aunt's house, she raised chickens. And I ain't never seen them let a fox or a dog tell them how many eggs was in the hen house. If it is true that one of the officers of the Alumni Association is also on the school board, that is a problem.
Why is that, Crystal? Why do you think that's a problem?
Because all the good Christians that went to Sunday school and Bible school on here know that even the Bible, unless you got a mighty cheap Bible, yours said the same thing. Mine said no man can serve two masters. for either he will hate one and love the other. You have a conflict of interest. Your heart gonna be divided.
Right.
You will not be able to you won't be able to call it down the middle. That's just like you judging a beauty pageant with your daughter in.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
not
concept.
saying that people can't be impartial,
Right.
but
It's just
human
the look of
nature.
it. It's not, yeah. It's not a
Okay,
good look.
same thing. That same Bible we thump tells us that you are to keep yourself from even the appearance of evil.
That's what it says. Now let's read Shatanda. She says the problem is that when there are groups that form with the premise of helping the school, use the name of the school, and then they operate outside of the school with no school input and hold accounts at financial institutions outside of the school. Very good point. So then it should not be happening. If you cannot operate the way we need you to operate, then you need to get off our school grounds. Just that simple. You're not gonna
And you,
make money off of us. Don't work
but you,
like that.
and did I'm sorry, as she said, she is correct. She did say that we hadn't thought about it or we hadn't mentioned it. I can't say what anybody else has thought, but you're using the name Monroe County High School Alumni Association.
But you're trying to operate independently. Doesn't work like that.
Okay,
We want
yeah.
our name back. All right. She also says all school financial records are published publicly.
School financial records. We're talking about the alumni.
They, Mr. Carmichael, the school financial records are public. And if you are holding yourself out to be a charitable organization and
They
you
must
are registered
also
as a
be.
nonprofit, there's public. Now, all us grown, and if we wasn't grown and old enough to go out to the club, we remember when that record was playing, everything's out in the open. There is nothing left to hide. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
The school's public. If your organization is a 501c3, if it's registered as a nonprofit, then all of that is public record. And if
Right.
it's not public record now, should the correct and appropriate actions be taken, all documents in a request for production of documents are discoverable in a civil and or criminal action.
Mm. She says that the school board holds annual budget hearings. They're open to the public, guys. So if we want to know what's going on with the budget, and because I would love to see what the budget is and how many grants they got, what kind of grants are they applying for? Because a lot of these things could be resolved with grants. And I would love to see where the grant money comes in and goes, and the money that comes into the school, where that goes. I would feel so much better, and we would be able to have a better conversation and tell everybody, okay, guys, we got that out of the way. Now let's get back to giving so we can take care of these kids. Homecoming's coming. I will definitely be at the homecoming this year. I will not be participating in the tailgate, and that's just my personal thing. I'm not trying to sway anybody one way or the other, but I want to be able to be of use to the school in the best way I can be, and being in that game is where I need to be. You know, that's just me. All right. Well, hello there, Ronald. How are you? He says he's sorry he's being late. Have a great discussion tonight. Yes. So, guys, we're almost, we have a little bit more time left, but we're almost. So we're going to start trying to get this on the other side of the fence. We said that we wanted to talk about the organizations that are benefiting from fundraising. That's the Alumni Association, Booster Club, and all these different people. We need to look into that. We said, what do the kids really need? They need support. They need support. We need to get to the games, guys. He definitely expressed that with his whole heart, that people are not showing up at the games. Now, I know the kids are losing. They lost last night too. Sorry, coach. It was a 60-0 last night. But imagine what they're going into the game feeling. I wish I could have one of the kids and love on them and hug them and say it's going to be okay. But I feel like we as a community are failing these kids. Now, there are a lot. It ain't all the parents, because some parents are showing up for their babies. The cheerleader, one of the cheerleader moms was here last week. She's like, look, I'm there every time they need something. We even had a mom who says she bought all her kids' equipment, Butch. She purchased everything. The helmet that I've never heard of that. I'm sorry, guys. This is new for us because I never worried about a cheerleading uniform, a pom-pom. Because if I would have had to buy all that stuff, I would have been out of luck. I'm telling you, right? I would have been out there with one pom. I would have had one pom-pom this week. I'm like, look, I can't get the other one. I'll get it next week. I'm going to roll with this one I got this week because we got to get this thing on payment plan. You know what I'm saying? So thank God that we had people donating and giving and helping us out. What do you guys think was so different? Why didn't we have to worry about money, Crystal, Butch? Why didn't we?
Truthfully,
Well, the leadership was different. Coloring of the leadership was different. I'm not trying to go racially on this, but there was a mixture. Leadership, board members, a lot of people didn't look like us. I think that's where it is now. I hate to say it, but there's.
So you think it's because we had more white people in the school that Monroe County High was better?
Yes.
you've gone from Friday Night Lights
Yeah.
to Friday Night Blight.
I mean, I totally, that's how I feel.
But that's economic though, Butch, because look, at that time, vanity, I mean, everybody's mom and dad that wanted a job had a job. You had Lazenby, Harrigan, Temple, Georgia Pacific, the paper mills, Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
The economic base in Monroeville is very different than it was at that time. So
the community makeup is different. When top employers leave, the upper echelon leaves too. Yeah, it's true. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it the businesses aren't coming to Monroeville? What makes businesses want to come and plant there and create jobs?
Amenities, your education, your school, because I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying that this is an indictment of anybody, because everybody on here, all of us on here that are Black, we came out of the public school system of Monroe.
Right.
But now that we have taken what we got from Monroe and built a certain quality of life, if we had to choose between sending our children to where we went, those of us who have the resources to do differently may not.
Facts.
So the truth of the matter is this. The truth of the matter is that, one, you have to have amenities there. You have to have a strong educational system there. You could bring back another new paper mill or some more jobs there. But if you have a failing school, they're not going to put their children in a failing school.
Right.
I mean, even though,
thing.
you know, and from what I'm hearing, if anybody can attest to this, if you know, I hear now that when you go to enroll your children at school, they'll tell you, well, you know, you can take your child to Excel now if you want to.
Ooh. Then they'll never get it back if everybody goes to Excel, right?
Well,
I don't see it.
the other thing that nobody is going to talk about is that, I'm just going to say it, Excel deserves everything that they worked for and got. And Monroe County High School does not deserve everything that it does not work for and does not get. In the law, there are things that are set forth that shows that schools or any supplies or any resources must be equitably distributed between the schools.
Right.
So if anybody down there got the balls, the kahunas, and they're not a coward, you can raise the question as to why Excel, which is a predominantly white school, does not seem to have the deficits of Monroe County High School, which is now a predominantly Black school. So under the laws and under the principles of equitable distribution, can the school board show that the resources are being equitably distributed between the schools? And is anybody down there giving a damn enough or got the balls to stand up and ask? Because if they are not, then somebody needs to go past the Secretary of State, past the Attorney General, past the IRS, and take that to the Office of Civil Rights, because that is a violation of Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, in that a school board, if, I'm not saying that it is, but if you are making decisions that result in disparate treatment and a disparate impact, then that is racially discriminating against how one school with one demographic and another school with another demographic are not being given what they need the same. If Excel down there looking like a mini college campus and Monroe County High School is looking like a school over in the third world country, somebody need to ask some more questions. And the school board ain't God either now.
Correct.
Just because they if you got a doctorate in education, that mean you got a doctorate in education. It don't mean you got a doctorate in every damn thing.
And
I think they may not know that.
Yeah. I think this is all very good, because this is why it's important, community, to go to these annual budget meetings. This is why it's important to get involved in your city council, because when I see Clausdale and I see that has potholes in the road and nothing's ever getting fixed, but then I go to the other side of town and I see it might not be the city's fault. It's the people you put in, the people you elected. They're supposed to go to that city council and fight for you. And if they're not fighting for you, perhaps you voted for the wrong people. And I think that's one of the problems in Monroeville. We bring in the wrong leadership. That's why we started this show talking about leadership, because it starts at the top. And y'all need to just stop putting your friends in, putting your family in. Right, Crystal?
Well, you know what?
That's right. Thanks right there.
If you always do what you did, you're going to always get what you got.
Facts.
And just because a preacher and a politician tell you something, don't believe everything somebody tell you. And think about this here. It's something in the deal for somebody when they running for them public offices. Who in the hell want to run for who want a job that don't pay but $700 a month? The reason why they running so hard for that job that only pays $700 a month is because sometimes the way that they vote and the decisions that they make that affect you can be bought and paid for. You remember that song? How much is that doggy in the window?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How much is that Negro in the window? See, they can put the right Negro in office and give him a $700 check on record and give him thousands back door to vote against your best interests. But because that's your cousin, your sister, your granddaddy's uncle on your stepdaddy first cousin side, you keep voting that same raggedy sucker in there. And if you do what you always did, you're going to always get what you always got.
Now, guys, that's facts. That's absolute fact what she's talking about. And I think that's why things aren't changing. Y'all need to check your leaders. Y'all need to stop putting preachers on pedestals, because from what I'm understanding, there's more mess in the churches in Monroeville right now. And I'm like, if the churches are falling apart, the school board is falling apart, the kids are just frustrated because they're not winning. They don't get the same opportunities we did. How do we fix it, Butch? What do we do? We can't go to the churches anymore because they don't fight and stand up for people anymore. They're a lot of them are bought. Right, Crystal? I mean, because
hold on. Listen,
I'm just saying. You remember
historically, the preacher on the plantation ate better, lived better, had better clothes, because his job was to keep the Negroes pacified. Preach to them about heaven. They're going to get all goodies when they die. There was a symbiotic relationship between master and pastor. You ain't seen a pastor stand up for nothing in Monroeville all the real pastors in Monroeville dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Ain't nobody getting no Holy Ghost. Ain't nobody getting nothing. Okay.
Listen,
and for a preacher,
why didn't I get in the Holy Ghost? Why didn't I get in the Holy Ghost?
I don't care nothing about nobody being no preacher. I can tell you anything. I can tell you that I got a plane finna land out there and take everybody to somewhere. I can tell you, you can make your mouth say anything. Hell, Jim Jones was a preacher. Didn't he make all them people drink that Kool-Aid and die? So quit putting your faith in a preacher. Donald Trump is a politician. He's the president of the United States.
Ooh, okay. Shatanda says facility improvement funds come from capital outlay funds provided by the State Department of Education. The school board determines how it's allocated.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, so when money is flowing, the school board is the one looking at it. Yeah, we're gonna give this one this amount, then we're gonna give this one this amount. So school board, this is a question for you. What makes you look at County High and feel like they don't need anything?
Ella, ask Miss Howard. Ask Miss Howard to type for us when she said all that money goes to the school board. Ask her to type for us so we can read. Does the school board make the final decision on what school gets how much of what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she just heard you. You asked her. Pastor Terry Johnson says, be careful. You can't label all churches by one or a few now.
We ain't talking about Terry Johnson now, because Terry Johnson trying to be a preacher for real. Okay. We ain't talking about you, Terry. You one of the few that, I think ain't playing church.
We got you, Red.
It is a little, it's different, guys, because you're right. I remember when the pastors stood on the front line. Whenever there was an issue in our community, they went down there to the church to the courthouse and to the different places to stand. You can't even get them movement. The civil rights movement came out of the black church. Now you can't even get a bake sale at the black church. They ain't baby church ain't even having car washes no more. Crystal, churches that have car, I don't remember having car washes growing up.
Churches have fundraising.
Yeah, I remember like bake sales, but I don't remember car washes.
They used to have all that.
She said yes. Shatanda answered your question. She said yes.
Okay, so the school board makes a decision of what school gets what. Now, Ms. Shatanda, what do they base that allegation on? What do they base it on that Excel got a state-of-the-art school down there and other schools may not get? What do they base that on? Do they base it on attendance or what? What do they base it on?
Yeah, Terry says that MCH has the best facilities in the system. Really? Okay, now that's a big conflict because last week, we were told that the ceiling was falling apart. So they got the best facilities. What do you mean by best facilities? Are you talking about, what do you mean? Tell me, I need to know because that's a conflict. Cynthia says, my child attends JU Blackshear. I have to buy, she has to buy everything. Oh, wow.
So let me ask this question then.
I was about to ask a question.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, Red.
And somebody else might be thinking the same thing. If you got to buy everything for your child, you might well send your child down there where I sent mine, the most pure heart of Mary, send them to the private school. If you got to buy everything, you got to pay for everything. What they giving them some books and a lunch? You might well have them in private school. I'm just asking. I'm really not trying to be funny, but seriously, if you got to pay for everything yourself,
yeah,
it ain't no public school. It's a parent funded.
I have never heard of this. This is crazy. Oh my God. Oh, but she explains it. She says we do a lot of fundraising down there as well.
Okay.
Terry says I'm not the only one preacher that truly has the welfare of the people.
Terry, we know you. We know you ain't with the foolishness. Trust me, I know who with the foolishness. I know the difference between. Let me tell you something. If you came up out of that old church, and I ain't saying I'm no perfect Christian, but trust me, I got one of them loops. I know the difference between a diamond and cubic zirconia. Again, you can fool all the people sometimes. Some people all the time. You ain't gonna fool everybody. I know you're not playing.
So we got some clarification here, guys, on the shape of the campus. She says that MCHS's campus is in great condition. Capital outlay funds is how we got the improved track. However, there has not been a plan for track equipment. The field house is not in good shape.
Okay.
And that's exactly what the coach said last week. Yeah.
So as a former principal and the person in this forum that is an expert now on school administration, we got a school administrator here. If you had some carpenters and contractors who knew how to build and repair this, could their labor and the materials be an in-kind donation to the school to repair the field house?
Correct.
Yes, please answer that question, because last week we had some people that are like, look, because we may have somebody that says, hey, look, I do special projects every year, and I don't have a problem going down to Monroe and fixing your field house. It's a write-off for me, that kind of thing. So if we can have that, I mean, maybe we can start reaching out that way. Maybe we can't raise $100,000, but maybe we can get somebody to go in there and fix up that field house.
Yes, you can raise $100,000. It's gonna be $100,000 worth of pocketbooks now at that homecoming. It's gonna be $100,000 worth of help.
We don't need but 100. We don't need but 100 to write a check for $1,000.
But Crystal, so you're saying that people care more about those things than they do about these kids?
I don't know what their priorities are. All I know is where your treasure's at, that's where your heart at.
So you want them to give up them to give up their pocketbook and wigs so the kids can get a helmet?
Well, okay. One of them, I say it because I mean, I say it ain't high. If you care more about carrying a Michael Kors or Louis Vuitton pocketbook, when your son get bust side to head and paralyzed or hurt real bad, that's gonna be the first one screaming and hollering and acting a fool.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So this just me. I might be a little thrown off. But if I see you with a Louis Vuitton pocketbook and a $500 wig on your head, I know your child got everything he needs. I know he do.
So Shatanda answered, she says, building construction improvements have to be bidded out to the school board if it exceeds a certain dollar amount.
What is that amount? What is that amount?
What is that amount, Shatanda?
Because if it's, I mean, you can come in at, do certain parts.
Because we're talking to the right one. Butch, you work for a construction company and you're a designer. You know what? Let's tear it down and Butch can build us and design us a brand new field house, state of the art. How about that?
See what I'm saying? But see, Butch gonna have to have 3 more bids. So now let's go back to this. Butch got to come in on a certain dollar amount. Butch got to have a competitive bid. So how did the Alumni Association get a chance to rent out a public asset? Who bidded on that? What kind of contract? If everything got to come under some dollar amount, you got rules. You got all these rules for this thing, but you ain't got no rules over here. We running a street corner dice game when it comes to fundraising, but we got a bylaw of the Bible over here for other things.
But you use the name MCHS.
Right, and you using your name. I'm not your wife, I'm not your daughter, but I'm going around saying I'm Mrs. Butch Carmichael. My name's Shirley Carmichael. I'm signing checks in your name, charging stuff at the store in your name. No.
Yeah. Getting the discount that he deserves. So you just by having his name. Yeah, it is true. I listen, I am definitely for a new alumni association. If you agree that Monroe County High School should have a new alumni association, put that in the comments right now. Yes or no? Because I think that's good for the board to see.
Ella, ask Ty with this. Since she's a former she is a school administrator. Does Monroe County High School or Monroe County School Board have the authority to ask them to cease and desist using their name in the title of their organization?
That's a good question. Can there be a cease and desist for them? A cease and desist for them to not use MCHS if they're not benefiting the school? Because I think that could be easily done. Should be anyway. All right, we got a yes. We got a yes here on the alumni changing. Now, Shatanda says it depends on the type of improvement. In my opinion, the field house needs to be completely rebuilt. There it is, Butch. There it is.
That's
Listen,
sad.
I'm telling you guys, this is
That's
why we do these
sad.
shows. Y'all don't understand. We got the people to fix this, but you got to be transparent. We bringing the people to the party, but you guys got to give us something. You got to meet us halfway, school board. We can pull this together and take care of this school. See our passion. What we want to see in County High, we're tired of going out there and seeing them be, that this is what they have. We're tired of seeing that. So that's why we're having this show. So you see that
I don't have a problem. I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with donating my time and my resources to design a new field house, lay it out, get all the plans approved. I have no problem with that.
That's
who do
awesome.
I talk to?
That's my dude right there. That's my boy right there. No, I appreciate that, Bush. No, seriously, good job. Thank you.
I have no issue with that.
There's a yes. There's another yes. There's another yes. New alumni.
But you know where the biggest vote gonna come? You can say yes, but you know what? Put your money where your mouth is, and don't put your money where the truth ain't.
Facts.
Now, say it again, Crystal. Say that.
I'm saying you can say, yeah, we need another association, but the real vote comes in. Put your money where your mouth is, and don't put your money where the truth ain't. If you don't think that this is alumni, if you now have some questions, if you're not sure, if you cannot feel that they are doing the right thing the right way, beyond a shadow of a doubt, y'all ain't got no business pitching your tent down there. You got no business putting up you now. It's $155.
Yeah.
But if you can't tell me, and I'm talking to the men on here, ladies, and we can relate to this too. I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all been playing with little boys, but I know some grown men. You take their money, you gonna tell them something. They gonna start asking some questions. They buy you a car. You ain't gonna just go off in that car when you get ready and do what you want to do with it. They paying all them bills at the house. You ain't gonna come in there and act like you want to. You follow what I'm saying? So you stupid. And I said stupid. If you give somebody your money and you keep giving them your money and you can't ask them nothing, you better than me. Cause baby, when they take my money and I ask them a question, they done bought the SH. I'm gonna put the IT with it, and I don't go for bad. But I bet you if you was paying your house note every year and your balance wasn't going down, them folks would have to show you where your money was at. Right. If you were paying your car note every month and your balance wasn't going down, them people have to show you where your money was at. I tell you what, go up there and pay 2 light bills, and them folks come out there cutting your lights off, and you done paid your light. You're gonna have some questions.
You're fixing to raise hell.
Act like them playing with your money, because that's what they do. And here's the other thing. If you don't ask no questions and you don't say nothing, whatever they do to you, they ought to do it.
That's it. You deserve it. That's it.
That's real talk, guys. And I mean, I'm not trying to bash the Alumni Association, please. But we got to be honest. And we brought this show tonight because it means that much. People have lost trust. Some people, not everybody, because they're still selling tent spaces. The rent space.
Some people just want to party. Just tell it like it is. I'm too old. I'm too old now to be scared of anybody but God and my mama. And ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me about what I'm gonna say. They ain't gonna even go over there to my mama's house and mess with a baby picture of me, let alone me for real. You got some Negroes down there, they don't give a damn what they do as long as they get out there up on their tent and can have a party. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. We all know one another. All us come out of Monroe. Everybody know everybody. You got some folk down there. I wouldn't care if the Ku Klux Klan was selling them spots. If they could go out there and party, baby, get their shine on, get their drink on, give them some music, they'll be there. Some people just don't give a damn. But somebody has to give a damn sometime. And I'm not being ugly. If they doing it the right way, then show us. If you not doing it the right way, then damn it, be humble enough to say, I don't know. and get some professionals or some people. If you don't like me, if you don't like somebody else, then go pay somebody. Because when I wrote the charter and gave it to them, when I drafted the document for them to sign and to fill out and send up there to the Secretary of State, when I gave them step by step, 1, 2, 3, I said, when Jennifer Power called my house in that office behind me, yeah, Jennifer Power called my phone. She was telling me what was going on, and she said they had been trying to get some paperwork and documents, but they could not get the answers they needed. I said, well, I'll try to help you as much as I can. And I gave her, you have to file with the Secretary of State. You have to have a charter. All of these things that I'm telling you, I showed it to them. I gave them a skeleton to fill in what you need your mission statement. Fill this in, tailor it for your charter. I gave them a template for their bylaws. And if I'm lying, any one of them, tag them, call them, tell them to come on here and say I'm lying.
Okay. So
I
you
wrote
did
the
that.
charter.
You
I
wrote
did it,
yeah.
and Darlene Adams also was very instrumental. And we didn't charge them a dime because so if anybody said, well, Crystal, you ain't paid nan dime, whoever said that, you ever wrote some bylaws, you ever wrote a charter, you go get a lawyer to draw them up for you. Ella,
And
you
see
got a
how much it costs.
501c3.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Did they do it for free?
No, they did not.
Okay. So
No, they
when
did not.
Jennifer Power called me that Sunday evening, I gave them what I gave them in good faith because I really thought these people was fixing to start an alumni association and do what they were supposed to do. They didn't ask me if I went to Shields then, and I didn't care. They asked me for some information. I gave it to them. Just saying, they
Right.
called somebody, say, hey,
Yeah.
do you know anything about this? Can we do? Oh, sure. I got some. Look, let me email you this. It wasn't whether I went to school at Shields or not. Just like I did what I did in good faith, I'm sure a lot of those people, like the lady said, they didn't think they had a reason to question. They did it in good faith.
Yeah.
But now, out of all we gave, whether it was time, money, labor, or expertise, we can't get no answers. And that ain't how it's supposed to go.
And that's why I had to do this show, guys, because I can't in good faith, in a good conscience, sit on this and not bring it to you guys. You deserve to know the whole story. And you also deserve to know that these same people that you are giving your donations to had the opportunity to come here and dispel anything that was not true. Crystal's been talking all week. She's been talking all week about this. Has anyone from the association ever said anything to you this week, Crystal, with everything that's being said? What kind of response have you been getting from the association, if any?
The same kind you getting right now. Ain't nobody said nothing to me. And I got a whole public post. I went on Facebook. I ain't blocked nobody off my page. My page public. People be sharing it. You ain't got to share that, baby. I ain't hiding. My page is public. And you can unfriend me. You ain't even got to be my friend. You can see this is public. Nobody has come on there and said, Crystal, we respectfully ask you to take these posts down because they are wrong. The information that you are putting out is wrong. And just like you posting everybody, I said it. Just like you posted everybody's name who done paid some money. And just like you posting that pretty diagram with all them spots, all you gotta do is post your paperwork, post your charter, post your bylaw, post your determination letter, post your EIN letter, post all that. You post every time you're going on vacation. You post when you get a new boyfriend. You post when he proposed. You post everything else on social media. That's what you got a social media page for, to inform your members, your constituency, and to show other people what you're doing so they too will want to join and be a part of your organization. As they say, if you got it, run, tell that.
Right. That's right. Let's see what Chisanda, she says, oh, they would not communicate with me when I was principal, nor the former principal. We were told we were difficult when we asked questions. Oh, wow.
Okay. Y'all said y'all might want me to sing on here tonight. Y'all remember that old song when you sang in church? I see the handwriting on the wall.
Facts.
Y'all remember that? You remember that old song?
Oh,
I
facts.
see the handwriting on the wall. Somebody read it, tell me what it said. Or that song your mama used to sing, Butch, I want to be at the meeting. I mean, are they having it?
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Now, I did not know that, Crystal. I didn't know that. So you mean to tell me they're not even communicating with the school now? Absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Wow.
Unacceptable. I
Orange,
personally think tailgate should be shut down this year. All money
orange is the
received,
new black.
either you turn it over or you give people their money back. Let's regroup. I think it should be shut down.
Or orange
I
gonna
have
be
a
the new
school,
black.
if we have a field house that's in bad shape and we up on the hill partying and oh hell no. It needs to be done this year. That's my vote. That's my vote, everybody. And I think we need to regroup, and I think it needs to be diverse, and I think it needs to be a big deal, and they need to agree on being transparent, whatever we need to do. But I think we need to start over. I do.
Or
I'm
either,
sorry.
as you say, until the school board and the school administrators can get some transparency.
Correct.
And now, I commend you, Miss Howard, because when they said if they had told me I was being difficult, I would have been very, very easy. I would have become the easiest person in the world because I would have said from this day forward there would be no tailgating on this school property.
On this here, you guys can't call me. Don't come back out here. I'm gonna have you
Don't come here.
trespass.
That's it. That's it.
I mean,
That's
you
when
good.
Yeah.
But you know, the truth is this right here. Because it might be some white people on here, but if not, I mean, you know, I say what I say in front of anybody. You know, it's amazing how we do each other. It's amazing. You know, they wouldn't have never. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna say it. The white folks ain't touching this. Ain't no white folks participating in this. They wouldn't have dared play with them white folks money like this.
Right.
They wouldn't have, if they had a dreamed about playing with them white folk money, they would have woke their black ass up and apologized.
I told you I didn't want to go there tonight. I told you I didn't want to go there tonight. I told you that.
Well, I'm there.
I told you I did not want to go there tonight, Crystal. I told you. But it's facts. It's straight facts.
If we had the same makeup, if the true diverse alumni, Monroe County High School was integrated in the early 70s. I'm going to say 72, somewhere along in there. You got over 50 years of classes. Do you know how many? If you didn't have but 25 white folks in each class over 50 years, that's a lot of white folks. We done had Asians, Indians, all kind of people from Canada. All kind of people come when that paper mill came out of Monroe. It brought people there from everywhere. They wouldn't have dared if that had been a majority. If that had been even 50, if you had 100 members in that alumni association and 50 of them had been white folk, they wouldn't have dared. They would never.
Yeah, like you said, it's sad how we treat each other. Now, Miss Howard says the decision was granted by the school board. Principals don't have the authority to grant school use. So then the school board agreed for them to come out. Now we get to the bottom
of it.
What is the
makeup? What is the makeup of the school board?
Is it 5 members?
I think it's 5. I think I know Kenneth Smith is not in there anymore. I think someone replaced him this year.
Is it 3 blacks and 2? Is 3 white people and 2 black?
I don't know. Maybe she'll come in. She said, that's why when I heard it sounded unreal. Wow. So,
who said that?
Okay. That was another guest, Doris Hill. She said, that's why when I heard it sounded unreal. I'm not really sure what she's mean. Oh, 3 whites, 2 black. Thank you, Mandy.
Okay.
Do we have the names?
Yeah. Can we get the names, Mandy, please?
This is gonna be good.
Thank you, love.
Is Barbara Turner still on the school board?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
So Jennifer, you're saying yes. Are you saying yes to? Y'all have to tell me because sometimes I see these comments. Just tell me what you're saying yes to. I want to make sure I acknowledge it. Um, we have learned some stuff tonight, Crystal, didn't we? I knew that it was gonna come out.
Yeah, we done learned something today. We done had good school today.
So
Pay
that's
attention,
why they
class.
were. That's why they weren't calling her back because they don't owe her to call her back. They're in the pocket at the school board. All right, school board, you up? You're next. What's up? Because y'all got some splaining to do. Because we have. So if they're not being transparent, you're not making them be transparent. You're just allowing them to come on the school grounds, do so whatever they will. Yeah.
Well, see,
All
this the
right.
thing what they don't
Miss
understand.
Turner is still on the board. Miss Turner is still
Okay,
on the board.
this what they don't understand. The federal, when you violate certain statutes, certain laws, they don't care
Right.
nothing about you being a principal, school board. The school, what they say, it's free smoke. Everybody can get some.
Yeah, they'll shut you down.
They will hold a lot of people accountable.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
it would behoove them all to come forth and explain how these funds are being accounted for. Number one, the school board, since they don't have all their paperwork and all that in order, and since the membership officers and board do not reflect the diversity of the alumni, a reasonably prudent school board with reasonably prudent members, that means people with good sense, will shut this down.
I think it should be. Superintendent Marty Hanks, Chair Sabrina Kidd, Vice Chair Martha Jordan, and board members Barbara Turner, Tammy Rainey, and Brian Harrison.
Well. Now,
So
if
there's our
you was to
school
get, if
board.
you were to get a list of the officers of the Alumni Association, I wonder, could you play connect the dots or that little game we used to play when we were children? One of these things is not like the other, you know. I'm just being, you know, put the two lists up. Are there anything on these two lists that happen to match each other?
So let's say it is, Crystal. Now what?
That's wrong. Shut it down. Start over.
So Butch, do you think it's a conflict of interest to have someone on the school board who's also on the Alumni Association?
Totally.
Okay.
That's
Why?
that's
Hold
double
on.
dipping. I mean,
Under Alabama Ethics Act, Section 3625-5, public officials cannot use their position for public gain. If someone on the alumni board also serves on the Monroe County School Board and helped approve or potentially benefit from the contract as an officer or member of the Alumni Association, not necessarily personal benefit, that's a conflict of interest, and this can trigger an investigation by the Alabama Ethics Committee. I didn't say that. Don't say Chris Tucker said that. If you want to go back and say what Chris Tucker said Crystal Tucker said what the Alabama, write it down, Alabama Ethics Act, Section 36-25-5.
Wow.
boy, that
Oh
fight.
yeah,
I don't understand. I don't understand, school board, how all of this got by you guys. I'm it ain't just about the alumni now. You are all responsible.
the other thing is
What it is.
school grounds are public property. That means any money made from renting out space, like tailgating spots, must go directly to the school, not to a group or private group. Crystal Tucker didn't say that. But Alabama Code Title 16 does. Under that code, public school property must be used for public benefit. If a private group profits from school grounds without full transparency, it's misuse of a taxpayer funded asset.
Wow. Y'all heard it right there. Wow.
And
Crystal.
if
Wow.
they were given the right to have the tailgate, were any other organizations also given the opportunity to do the same?
That's
Even
what I
if there
wanted to know.
is,
Yes.
even if there
Yes.
is an agreement, even if there is a contract or an agreement, it is invalid. Crystal Tucker didn't say this, but the Alabama Competitive Bid Law, Section 16-13B-1, any contract involving $15,000 or more in services, rentals, or fundraising must go through a competitive bid process. If they skip that step, it is void. So if
Look
they
at
can
this.
have a tailgate party, you can go down there. Anybody else? Hey, we are the Red Hat ladies of Monroe County. And
Set
we
up camp.
want to go and we want to fundraise on the school. We are the missionary side of the First Zion Fire on the Mountain Baptist Church, and we want to sell pound cakes on the ground. Everybody get a chance to put their bid in. If you didn't do the competitive bid, it's not valid.
Right.
Now, the only thing they can do is try to play you stupid and say, well, we only raising $14,999.99. But we know, but as Maury Povich would say, we know that's a lie.
Crystal, we got somebody that wants you to be mayor. Jennifer says we need Crystal to come back to the Ville and run for mayor.
No, ma'am.
Crystal,
No,
Crystal, don't knock it. Let's finish. Let me finish
ma'am,
the sentence.
No.
ma'am. How much do
No.
the mayor's salary pay in Monroe? So I can ask
Oh,
my dark-skinned boyfriend. It's my dark-skinned boyfriend don't live in Monroe. My light-skinned boyfriend don't live in Monroe.
Okay, so is that a no, Crystal? You won't even consider it?
I don't need to be the mayor. What I see, if I'm the mayor, I can't do all this stuff I'm doing now. I can't tell y'all nothing if I'm the mayor. I need to be free. So
Okay,
when you
look at this,
understand,
Crystal.
what?
Other organizations have used school properties and raised funds or sold products and did not give money to the school.
Who allowed that?
That's
What
correct.
did they do? What kind of fundraising did they do? Specifically, what type of fundraising did they do? Was they selling candy, M&M, donuts? I'm asking for. I mean, it might sound comical, but I'm really asking.
No, we're gonna give her time to answer.
And
I
I'm
don't
saying all this so
understand
the
how
people
we
will
can.
know.
I just don't understand how we can allow anybody to come onto the school grounds and raise money and it doesn't benefit that school. I do not understand how that could happen.
So based upon what they're telling me, then you could have a guy come there with some buses and put some poles up in the gym and set a strip club up in there. Anything cold down there.
Everything's kosher.
Yeah, you can have a trail ride out there.
Oh, you're wrong, Crystal.
Well, I mean, look, sir.
It's almost like anything goes. And I'm thinking, it because it's a predominantly Black school and they don't care? Do they know it? Is it like, I don't want to put it all on the school board.
That is it.
But what is it?
But I'm just saying. I mean, come on. Anything ain't got no rules to it. Ain't gonna last long now.
True.
I mean, that we don't have anything right now. We don't know what the rules are for the tailgate. And if they got some rules, if they got some guidelines, nobody can see them. And see, as long as y'all keep asking questions, see, my patience about long as my hair right now. Anybody see my hair ain't that long? I wouldn't keep asking them questions. You ain't got to tell me nothing. Tell them folks when they come down here and then say, you ain't have to do that, Crystal. You ain't have to do me like that. Yes, I did. You wouldn't tell me what I asked you. My patience not that long. See, they're saving grace with me. I don't have no kids in school now.
No, I totally agree with you on that. When it comes to stuff like this, I say shut it down. That's my opinion. I say shut it down until we can get this thing together.
But
I have a
people will
question.
do. Go ahead, Mr.
I
Carmichael.
have one question before I get off. Um, I know the tradition at County High. We all walk those halls.
Yeah.
What would make a parent from Monroeville take their kids to Excel? What is that benefit? What is happening at Excel that is not happening at Monroe County High School?
Order, accountability, education. My child needs getting met. I ain't got to worry about my son out there on that football field getting a traumatic brain injury. I don't have to worry about my son being hit by the side and becoming paralyzed because he don't have what he needs. I don't have to worry about my child getting salmonella, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus in a field house that didn't have no running water in it. I don't have to worry about the uniforms that I am buying and all the equipment that I am buying coming in there one day and it might all be soiled and sullied because the roof on the field house is leaking. I can get my child, whether he want to be a cheerleader or whether he want to play the tuba or he want to play football, he got a chance down there in Excel. That's why. And when I ask somebody down there in Excel what the hell going on down there, they don't turn into Scooby-Doo. Oh no. I'm just telling the truth.
I mean, that's a big concern.
If you don't know what I'm saying, fix it where I can't say it. Because when I stop saying it, I'll stop saying it. The
Crystal, she said football camps and the tailgate. Remember, we asked what kinds of things are going on, and they're not giving money to the school. Here it is.
Stop right there. Now, ma'am, are these individuals that's having these football camps? And they claim, because see, I'm tell you something. First of all, I wouldn't send a dog to a camp at a school that ain't got no weights. And how the hell you having a football camp at a school you ain't got no weights, no pads, anything? I got a $75,000 list in my inbox of everything that they don't have. So how are they having a football camp? Let me tell you what y'all doing. Y'all keep on playing down there, letting every shyster come down there and say they doing something they not. They will lock all of y'all black asses up. I'm not finna sugarcoat it. I'm not finna sugarcoat
the idea that Excel is better. People promoting that idea.
Well, it ain't no worse. Hell.
Some parents feel that the kids are getting better opportunities at Excel versus MCHS. Then I get another.
So how do we change that then? So how do we change it? How do we change that perception of Monroe County High School?
What's that saying? What Mr. Big saying?
So
I can't see what.
It's not even that deep, Auntie. They just don't want to go to school with us. We just need to come together to make it great for the kids that are there.
It's that deep because I'm gonna tell you something. I've been black 3 times and I wouldn't send my child out there. I don't want my grandchildren. I just went to Grandparents' Day in the Milan School District. It's beautiful up there. Okay. It ain't got nothing to do with color. I don't want my children going to school with a bunch of people who come from houses where people don't give a damn, because I don't give a F is a contagious disease. Apathy is contagious. Being trifling is contagious. And see, one thing I know, little children who come out of houses where they have parents don't give a damn, they pick at and take from children who come from the houses that do. I wouldn't shoot dice with a broke man. And I ain't finna send my child nowhere with a bunch of bastards that ain't got nothing to lose. I said it. Every one of y'all on here that can afford to done bought a house in the best school district, or either you paying for them to go to a private school. I'm not finna send my child nowhere where I got to furnish everything that the NFL furnish and pack a lunch.
Right. So Crystal, how do we change this? Crystal and Butch, before Butch leaves, I want your input on this. How do we change it, guys? I want your honest opinions, because
I'm gonna speak hypothetically as the school board, as the state of Alabama, as the Title VI federal funding, as the black people, as the white people. If you don't give a damn about your children, I don't either. And I'm not saying that as Crystal Tucker, but I'm telling you, nobody gonna give a damn more than you do. Do you think I'm gonna get up and come over, clean up your house on Saturday morning, don't clean up mine?
Of course not.
Well, I understand that, some parents can't afford to send their kids to other schools, and I understand that. So if things aren't working, then the people that you voted in, you need to change it. If they're not giving you what you need, then you need to change the leadership.
There it is. And that is why that was the first question of the show.
Stop voting your
Okay.
friends in. If they're not capable, stop voting your friends in.
And Mr. Carmichael, that goes back to you got to give a damn about the outcome, even when
Right.
you vote. If you don't give a rip,
Right.
you got to care. You got to give a rip.
That's true.
I'm a member of a homeowners association over here. You think I'm gonna pay my homeowners association dues and don't know what they're doing with their money? A lot of y'all paying membership dues in more than one organization, whether it's the PTA, whether it's your professional organizations, whether it's the election of those officers. Y'all hold people accountable for things that matter to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What he said, everybody can't what?
Everybody can't help themselves though. What about that?
You
Okay.
can vote. You can
This is
make
my
changes.
answer to that.
You can vote.
Everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something. And it's too many anybody's that ain't doing nothing. I don't want to hear that. Scott Biggs, your mom and daddy had a lot of children. Every one of y'all graduated high school. Every one of y'all is a productive citizen right now. Was your mom and daddy rich and had millions and millions of dollars? No, they did not. But everybody knew that Mac Biggs and Joanne Big children gonna come to school. They participated in sports. Y'all played baseball. Y'all went to school. Y'all was in the band. Y'all participated in the activity. Your mom and daddy did their part. You got a lot of parents not doing their part. And then you got a lot of people don't even know who on the school board. They live right there in Monroe and they don't know. They probably don't even know who the principal of the school. Everybody can't do the same thing, but everybody can do something.
So Tara says the biggest problem at MCHS is the lack of parental support.
There you go. Everybody can do something.
Starts at home, guys. Starts at home.
We also help people that couldn't help themselves. My father did a lot of that.
We spoke about that, Scott. Everybody had community. People looked after each other. You're right. You don't have that community. We talked about that earlier. That community support is not there. And some of the reason that is not there is because the economy in Monroe is not what it was. A lot of people don't have resources to help with now because the jobs is not there. Georgia Pacific ain't in Monroe no more, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Vanity Fair is gone.
Yeah, Vanity Fair is gone.
Is everything from Vanity Fair gone now? The Dye House and everything gone?
I think everything's gone, right, Butch?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. And then I think Winn-Dixie is gone. Was it Winn-Dixie or Piggly Wiggly? One of them is gone. They just have Walmart. You remember how back in the day it was the kids that were working at McDonald's and stuff? That was like keeping the kids employed. You have adults having to pay rent, having to work at those places like that because they're running out of.
But you know what, Ella? You know what else has come to Monroe, to that area? The casino. The casino.
Yeah.
Some of the reason why you ain't got what you got is because them last $2.
Not the last $2.
Well, what I'm saying is jobs have left.
Yeah.
And then you also have things competing for people's money. A lot of people going down to that casino. Baby, people done lost their houses at that casino.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
You know, people don't come to the game on Friday night no more. They going to the casino. They going, wherever.
Well, I want to make this plea to everyone that's watching this broadcast and people who may watch it tomorrow or days from now. We need to at least support the school by going to the homecoming game. I know that they have games coming up before that, but and go to those if you're in town. But if you're going to be traveling, please, and if you're just going to go to the tailgate, no matter what, that's fine. That's your choice. But at least go in the game. Please at least go into the game and support the kids. That's what the reason for the season is. The homecoming is for the kids. Celebrate with them, you know, and we need to celebrate by not getting ourselves all hyped up. Go in the game. Let them look in the stands and see everybody up there cheering for them and having on blue and gold. That would mean so much to them. It does take more than that, but that's a start.
So now, if you live out of town, so even if you live out of town, you can't be there to support. I mean, you know, buy a ticket or whatever. Where does that go? How do we send that? Where do we send that to?
Say that again. You asked the question, Butch?
Yeah. So if you live out of state or out of town or whatever, and you still want to be able to support, you can't be at the game or whatever. So then what should we do?
There's a link that you can find at MCHS. If you can drop it in the chat, Jennifer, it's a link where people can go and buy tickets. You can actually buy a ticket for the game. You can buy as many tickets as you need to. So there is a link out there for that. So if somebody could drop that in the comments, that would be great. Not true. Okay, I missed some stuff here. I want to make sure I get my comments here, guys, because there are plenty of jobs in Region 7. Trust me, the problem isn't a lack of jobs. It's a lack of people that want to work.
Okay, what do those jobs pay?
Yeah, what do those jobs pay? You buy the tickets or go on GoFan. That's what she said. It's on GoFan. Terry Johnson, that last part. Wow. No pun intended, Shatunda Howard, but that is my opinion. That's how I see it. So what did you say? I want to make sure I get your comment. Put it back in there again for me. What do you guys talk about? Oh, we missed a whole lot of stuff up here, guys. Okay, let's get this one. MCH has awesome teachers and students. The school made great gains when I was booted out. When instruction and education was top priority, some parents and people in the community wanted to run the staff and administrators as if we were not the instructional experts. Some parents don't want their children disciplined. Some parents won't get involved. Wow.
I'm stuck at when I was booted out. I didn't get past that part right there.
She was booted out. Tell us what that's all about, Shatunda. It sounds like you were very involved and invested in the kids. What happened there? Why were you booted out? She's saying that some parents and people in the community wanted to run the staff and administrators as if we were not the instructional experts. In other words, you got parents coming up there acting a fool, Crystal. What do you say about that?
Okay.
That's crazy.
The rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper.
It does.
Again, vote. Change leadership.
If nothing else I've learned tonight, that's definitely where y'all need to start. Everything is gone from Vanity Fair.
Sound like to me, though, so there are no jobs there. And the school just running down there like the Wild Wild West. The parents coming up there running the school. The principal can't run the school.
Mr. Hollingsworth would have never allowed that, Crystal.
Never.
No.
Just being honest, guys. In my high school era, there were the Mr. Malones and Mr. Burtons, a time when there was structure, discipline, and true leadership. I think after Mr. Turner left, that was a wrap for MCHS. Things slowly started going down. Just a thought.
That still starts at home. So whether Mr. Turner was there or who was there, That discipline starts at home. You know,
Look, they can look. No, I don't think it's so much about Mr. Turner. I think you might have had some other competent people after then. You could send Joe Clark in there.
Maybe that's what we need.
You could send Joe Clark up in there, but if you don't have an economy, if you don't have any money, see, this is what nobody is afraid to. This is what everybody's afraid to say. White flight is green flight. When them white folk left there and them job left there, they money left.
right.
I mean, that's
Now,
true,
I'm
guys.
not saying that white folks is the only folks that got money, but the jobs that we have, the income that we have, the businesses that we have now, we all in Jacksonville, Florida, and Jackson, Mississippi, and out in California. When I leave out here to go to California, or when you get on a flight, Butch, to go to do a job, when all of you in this forum go to your respective jobs where you live now,
yeah,
that money does not come back into Monroe. People in Monroe don't have those type of jobs anymore. The best thing, the saving grace of Monroe was Georgia Pacific and that paper mill.
Yeah,
that paper mill was a game changer when it came to Monroe.
But
and
Crystal,
all those people that came there with it.
Look at what Patricia's saying. She says people are paying minimum wage. How are you going to survive? Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's why I asked the question earlier, that they said that there were jobs there, but are these jobs paying a living wage?
So what is minimum wage in Alabama?
$7.50 an hour. It's $7.50.
I couldn't even get a week with that. Shatanda says, I worked under Mr. Turner for years. He was also my math teacher. The change happened when industry left the city. So it looks like they're going back and forth that when Howard left versus the industry, when the industry was affected. Mandy says, we post the GoFan QR code and link before each sporting event, Butch. So if you can plug into
where is it posted?
Where is it posted, Mandy? Jobs average $15 to $20 an hour for unskilled labor.
In Monroe?
In Monroe? Is that decent in Monroe? Yes.
$15 an hour is $600 a week before taxes.
Okay, yeah, that's not really good.
So now that's wonderful. If you 16 years old, you live in the house with your mom and dad, you ain't got to buy no groceries.
Right. That's right. You don't have to buy groceries.
$15 an hour is a lick. And $20 an hour might be a lick in Monroe if you're a single person and you living by yourself, but for a family?
She's giving us the reason she was booted out. Personal agenda of people who didn't like how I led the school. Although I, along with the staff, took them from a 56 to a 78 in 1 year.
Yes, you did. Now I read that.
So if you are making okay, now this is really getting ready to piss me off. So you are making progress and they got rid of her?
And let's go read now and see Miss Howard. Are they not now in the lowest 50 percentile? Is that correct, Miss Howard, that they're now ranking the lower 50 percentile?
City or county needs to go out and rally for new companies to come in there. Who does that? When you have a place, Crystal, and who's responsible in the elected officials in Monroeville to make sure that new companies come there? Because I'm sure somebody campaigned on it. But
you got a mayor, you got a city council, you got a county commission.
You have city managers as well.
All right, city manager, get on your job. Get on your job. You guys have the population is going down in Monroeville. You have more people dying that are being born there. No, everybody's leaving. What? How do we come up out of that hole? We need good leadership. Whoever's responsible for that, get on your job. Simple. Stop sitting around collecting a paycheck. All right. I will say it, Miss Howard. There was a board member that had their butt on their shoulder that is responsible for Miss Howard being removed. Oh, I already know who did that.
Was
I
she
said,
black or
oh,
was she white?
it ain't no she, it was a he.
Oh, boy.
And it was black.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
why is it? Why is it? Come on,
Hmm.
y'all. Come on, help me out, Butch. You have
We can't.
somebody black. This is a woman. She's at the high school. She's working her butt off to change things. She made progress. And they got rid of her. And it was this black person that did. Why?
You don't want
See,
to
this
know the
is
answer
part.
to that.
I do
You
want to know
don't
the
want.
answer.
Okay,
I
let me tell you the
do.
answer to that. Let me tell you the answer
Please.
to that. Okay, let's just go on really shake the rails.
Come
There
on.
is
I
a
want to.
you have failing schools in towns. Look at the towns in which no investment is made in the schools. Those towns are predominantly black. I believe that the city of Monroeville and Monroe County now is predominantly black. This coincides around the same time that Kay Ivey is building a super prison industrial complex in the state of Alabama. Failing schools are a prison pipeline.
Privately owned prisons.
Private prisons. So if they can't make you pick cotton no more, they will make you be the cotton. They not building no prisons near stellar school districts.
Yeah.
Baldwin
Okay.
County schools, City of Daphne, Fairhope. When Fairhope High School was in jeopardy of not having a band and football program, they had a meeting one night, and a man named Lewis Mapp and all his friends got together and raised some money. Some checks was written. I think $100,000 came out into question, but I guarantee you that year Lewis Mapp grandson played football, and his granddaughters was in the band, and they would have cheerleading thing. Okay, they don't have that problem. If you have a bunch of low wage jobs and you have a poor performing school system, you now have bodies to go in the field. And those private prisons have contracts that say that those prisons must be kept at a 90% rate. They are not
Right.
educating your children because they are looking for inmates.
Wow. Now that's deep.
That prison is scheduled to
Wow.
be a
Yeah.
5,000 bed facility.
I'm building 2 right now.
In Alabama?
Nope. But I'm
Oh,
building
okay.
2 right now.
So why are we building all? Hmm.
They building the prisons because if you got a underperforming child who is reading below grade level and he is socially promoted because his mama gonna come up there and act a fool, and you got a quasi Sambo Legree Negro that's getting rid of competent educators and principals so that you keep a low performing school, they got to have no jobs, no education. Where they going? They going to jail.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know a shepherd for the devil when you see one. Just because you've been knowing a person a long time, do you realize that you got people who look like you who are put in place to make sure that these things happen? Because you black folk ain't gonna
There it
trust no
is.
white person when he come and do you wrong.
There it
So
is.
you get somebody to get the good
Yeah.
performing principal out the way so the school can go under. If a white man had to come in there doing it, she would have been looking for him. But when you send somebody in there that look like her, that's been in the system a long time, that's been an assistant principal, and he wants to be on the school board or she wants to be on the school board, this is what happens. But if the parents don't care, it'll continue to happen.
Facts.
Those parents could have kept her at that school if they have stood up for her.
But they were
But
probably the ones that complained. Because she's trying to teach her kids discipline. Because you need that in this world. These kids need to learn how to respect authority. And
you
you
don't
come
have
out
to
here
respect,
cussing the
no
teacher
ma'am.
out.
You don't have to respect no authority. They got pepper spray in there, body shields, and all that. You ain't got to respect no authority. You don't have to have no discipline. All you got to do is when they hit that buzzer, get up, go to that door, come out that cell, walk to your child, go to the visiting room, and go back to your cell. You ain't got to have no discipline.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, Shatunda. The school to prison pipeline has been said to be determined by third grade reading scores.
Yep.
They know who gonna likely be a good jailhouse candidate by the third grade. That's why they
So,
used to give you the California Achievement Test in the third grade. Do you remember
yes,
that?
I
Yep.
do remember. Yes.
You took the California Achievement Test in the third grade. Then you took the Stanford Binet test. And then they came up with the Alabama high school graduation exam. So that even if you had the grades and the grade point average, if you
You
didn't pass
still,
this standardized
yep,
test, you couldn't graduate.
yep. I
Facts.
remember that. That's
Facts.
Because
crazy.
a young man,
Yeah.
especially a young black man without a high school diploma or GED, is on a bullet to the jailhouse.
So this is why I get frustrated when I see us partying it up and the school is in this kind of shape.
Ma'am,
I
look, they're gonna send your children to
I
the
can't.
penitentiary. They're gonna get as many they can on dope. Dope in the
I
jailhouse. They got a plan for you, but y'all pay them $150 and go get up on them tents and wear your t-shirt and have a good time.
Right, Crystal.
I'll be at the
You
game.
Now,
know,
that lie, crime don't pay. That's a lie. Crime pays and crime pays well. I
All
worked in the
depends on
I
who's on
prison
the
system.
receiving end.
Do you
think that
did
we
you say you building 2 prisons now?
Building 2 right now.
How much they paying that company to do that? About $25, $30, or how many millions of dollars? Crime pays.
We have one that's 500 million, the other's 800 million.
but
Okay.
how do you know how big to make a prison? You can't anticipate. How do
Yes,
you
you
know how many
can.
people
Yes, you
gonna be?
can.
The
Yes,
third
you can.
grade California Achievement Test, those standardized tests in the school, they already know how many to get.
Oh yeah.
When
Yes, you
they
can.
when they pass out them WIC vouchers, Section 8 vouchers, that you have to color in the little grid. Every time you take a little pencil, a little number 2 pencil, and color in one of them circles. When they put that in that computer and they read it, they count. They know how many cells to be. I know all these smart people on here. Y'all ever took a class in school called statistics?
Yeah,
Facts.
statistics. That's true.
It's facts.
That is, guys, listen, I don't know. We've talked about a lot of stuff tonight. We talked about MCHS, but we got a lesson on a lot of stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I'm full. I had no idea that we would get all this tonight, Crystal.
I enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed talking to Scott because Scott Biggs brought up some very
Interesting
valid
things.
things
Yeah, yeah.
that those of us in the community that do have. It shouldn't be nobody going without. In a town that small, nobody should be going without because everybody should help everybody, but
Right.
it's
Correct.
not.
It's correct. Tamika.
Okay, I like this. Let's see what Tamika says. She says, there's been a lot of focus on parental support, but what about the kids who are interested in learning, have no disciplinary problems, but there are teachers who are not invested in truly teaching, but expect kids to have passing grades? Hello. This is so much deeper than so many are willing to truly acknowledge. Oh, she brings a whole different thing into place. We talking about these kids. What about these teachers? What quality are they? Are they out there just trying to be cute, trying to date the principal? What's really going on? What
Can I
Like
answer
I
quality
that
said,
question?
are we
May I
saying?
answer
like
that
that.
Please.
question, please?
Yes, please.
Miss McCants, you are your child's first teacher. Okay. And see, here's the thing that I want to talk to. I don't know how many white folks on here, but black people are the only people who trust people who have historically shown you that you are not their priority to educate your children. You have to realize that that the caliber of teachers that we had may not be there. So you have to be your child's first teacher and their best cheerleader. And I'm not going to say that that's going to make your child be perfect and he going to be great. But I tell you what, if you think that any teacher is going to fight harder for your child than you should,
Facts.
it ain't going to happen. And see, here's the thing. The teacher got to be scared of some principles. I think the lady said the principal's scared of the school board. The school board scared of the people in the state office, and the children ain't scared of no damn body.
Wow.
Mr. Bush said it starts at home. But
Starts at
see,
home.
I don't let me tell you something. When I go to the hospital or go to the doctor's office, do you trust that nurse to give a damn more about whether you will live or die than you do? No, you don't. So why would you trust a teacher? And let me tell you something. Let's just gonna be real. We went to school with some people that's teachers. I be going like, damn, you teaching somebody? We know them. We went to school with them. All you have to do to get a teaching certificate is to graduate and meet the minimum requirements.
Then
Just
they shouldn't be
because
allowing teachers like that in the schools, though. I mean, I understand. She makes a good point here that she's getting the support at home, but the child still has to go in that school, and it needs
Okay.
to align with what she needs to learn, and she's not getting that.
Have you looked at what a teacher's salary is? You get
About
what you pay for.
50,000?
You get what you pay for.
What are they, like 50,000 now?
Well,
Teachers?
you got some administrators on there. Ask them what the average teacher, entry level teacher salary is in Alabama. Or a teacher been teaching school for 5
Okay,
years.
y'all answered me that question. Well, how much do teachers make in Alabama? I don't know. Because I have teacher friends, but I mean they don't tell me how much they make. So, but I think that what we've learned from tonight, guys, and I want to see. And let me pull this back up, Doris, because there is going to be a Clausdale community reunion next year, and Doris is organized.
Hold it. Who organizing the Claus? Is anybody with the last name Clausdale organizing that?
That's a question for Doris. Doris, who's all involved in the organization of this Clausdale community reunion? And it's to give back, Crystal. She says to give back. So that's good.
Look, I ain't got no problem with giving back. That's why we here tonight, because we got another organization saying they were gonna give back. But who organizing that Clausdale reunion? Any Clausdales on there? Because Clausdale,
a first year teacher salary is nowhere close to 50K. Oh
Lord.
Yeah,
with a bachelor's degree?
Yeah, there's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way. I'm a nurse and my salary is not great, but it's not going to stop me from taking care of my patients. It's because I am dedicated and passionate about what I do. If I focus solely on money, I wouldn't be a nurse in my role.
Tamika McCann. And I think that is really great for you to say that, but I was a registered nurse for 25 years. And trust me, you might not be one. But when you see them girls walking them floors with them tight scrubs on and them Stanley cups and them eyelashes and them wigs, they working hard for the money. I was a registered, still got my nursing license. Everybody is not like you. Most people on these jobs are there for 8 and the gate. You got to fight hard for your child. Just like you got to go sit in the hospital. If your mama in the hospital, you better not let your mama be in that room by herself. You come back and find her dead.
Well, here's what I say. If we got teachers that are not doing what they need to do, then we need to speak up.
Hell, look like you got a whole school board ain't doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Let's not just it's enough to go around to everybody.
It seems like everything is jacked up. The school is jacked up. The school board is jacked up. Like, what's working? Somebody please tell me what is working in Monroeville that we can build from. What's good?
Facebook, because that's how we found out about all this.
All right, Ella, I'm sorry.
Okay, good. Thank you, Butch. Yes, thank you. Me and Crystal can go. Thank you, Butch. We're going to be getting ready to get out of here soon. But thank you so much for being a guest tonight. Great. You were great.
Good seeing you guys.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
See ya. All right, Crystal. I want to bring up this right here. Okay, because this is a long. Oh my gosh, I want to make sure we get everybody's comment, guys, because I really want. What is going on with my thing here? They cut it in so fast. All right, here we go. Leanne, she says it's a disadvantage to the child who wants to learn and has no disciplinary issues. But realistically, if the attention of the other students aren't kept and they are a disruption, then that alone keeps a teacher from teaching. And however long it takes to get control back of her class, that's how much time is wasted. Discipline is needed. There is no way around it. Mr. Tunda Howard been there too long to be made to leave when these children need correction. Wow, that is amazing right there now. Okay, Crystal. That was a lot. Leanne, thank you for that comment. So in other words, and it's similar to what you said earlier, that you wouldn't send your kids to a school where there's no discipline because now it's going to affect your child's learning. And that's what's happening at the school. So you got parents coming up there that's keeping the teachers from having the control, the principal from having the control they need because you can't say nothing to my child. You ain't his mama. Come on, Crystal. I don't remember ever hearing in our time of a parent coming to the school. If anything, we were nervous if a parent came to the school. Like, I saw your mom.
Well, it wasn't even just the teachers. When we were in school, I'm sure everybody remembers Reverend and Miss Davis at the middle school. Miss Maggie Francis Malone was the secretary at the school, at the Monroe Middle School, and she had and could command just as much respect as any teacher at that school or the principal. Do anybody remember Miss Malone?
I do.
Miss Malone didn't play with you either.
No, she did. Oh, Lord. Teacher salary, school location, discipline rates, housing, and administrative support are some of the reasons high quality teachers are lacking. Teachers who teach from the heart are still in classrooms, regardless of the pay. But is this the majority? Only each school knows. Wow. CTE, Career Tech. There's no accountability. Take your concerns to the board and to the polls because that is where voices get heard. And that's it. That sticks a pin in our show tonight.
That's it.
At the end of the day, guys, hold everybody accountable. Don't give anybody your money. Ask questions. Demand the respect. Demand accountability. Demand transparency. That is the purpose of this show. We're not trying to talk about any one organization. You need to practice this in your life, period. Always hold people accountable. And if you're giving money, you need to make sure that that money is going to what you're putting it in there for. And I know this is a season of fundraising and everybody's excited about fundraising, and it is needed. It's necessary. We really do need it at the high school, but it's been hijacked because we have so much skepticism about what the money is being used for. And that is because there's no transparency and nobody really knows. So I hope that the school board, when you watch this video, if you do get a chance to witness this and watch this, that you will consider the comments of the people that have posted them here tonight, so that you can see this is where your citizens are feeling. This is where they are. They don't have trust in these people that you have allowed at the school to fundraise. So I think that all those contracts or agreements or whatever it is y'all have, I think all of that needs to be reevaluated. And it needs to be in the best interest of the school, because if we have a coach and we have students that are out here trying to play football or anything else that they're trying to do at school, learn, whatever the case may be, that it's in question now because of the decisions made from the top. So if we can't get better decisions, then we need to get better decision makers.
I will say this to every person that is on here, whether you're a parent or concerned grandparent, uncle, or auntie. Many of you will probably say, well, you don't even live here. What can you do to help us? I will give you this. A lot of times talking doesn't get the results that you want. But if you know how to put it on paper, if you can convey your concerns and ideas in writing and get that to the right person, that makes a lot of difference. Petitions get attention still. Sometimes you all have a very good cause and you may have a very good story, but you may not know how to word it or organize it, or you may not know that there are laws and there are statutes that are on your side. I am not a lawyer and I do not represent people, but I can at least give you some guidance on how to draft your concerns and where to forward them so that you can get a chance to meet with, sit down, and let the people who may not know what is going on really know what's going on. Sometimes your child may have a problem in which they are right and they're wrongfully accused, and you may need to know how to draft correspondence to get your child reinstated or your child is done wrong. If you ever need that service to help you research or write something to get your agenda moved forward, you can contact me at 601 573 7833.
I think that's great, Crystal, that you're offering that. And I would love to see if you guys really want to organize and do this and take this to the next level. Please inbox me and we'll get a group together, meet with Crystal, and we can start that conversation. But you guys have to understand, I don't live in Monroe. This is for you guys. We are holding this platform for you so that you can finally take the city back. I'm here because I have a vested interest in the high school. I have an interest in Monroe County as well because of my 501c3 and coming back when I did come back to feed families. So we are both invested. Crystal is vested because she still pays property taxes down there, right, Crystal?
My grandmama, my family's properties there. I have relatives there. Y'all are there. I mean, I don't know exactly who all's watching, but I know y'all. I mean, right. I know y'all know me. We all the same people. All of us. If you count 5 or 6 people on this forum, we all either related by blood, by marriage, or some of our kinfolk is married. My cousin married your cousin. My sister married your brother. Right. We all the same people. I don't have to live in Monroe to not want to see those young people not have a chance.
That's right. Absolutely, Crystal. I want to take this comment. Sunice Carmichael said, as a teacher for almost 20 years, parents don't want you to say anything to their kids. How can I teach a kid that I can't discipline or say anything to?
You're right.
That's why I couldn't have been a teacher. I would have lost my job. I'm telling you. God has given you grace. God has given you the anointing, Sunice, to do it for that long. But how is she supposed to manage her classroom, Crystal? Like, teacher, parents, make your kids behave. Like, hold them accountable. Like, what is this thing that it's okay for your kids to just be disrespectful? They have to leave high school one day.
Sunice knows that more than likely. Sunice knows this. I bet she can identify with this. Everybody in there is a teacher. When you got a little fool in your classroom, if you follow him home, it's a big fool gonna answer the door.
Crystal, that is funny, but that is so true.
She know y'all. These is some teachers on here. They know some of these kids when they get ready to meet with the parent, they have for jumping out the car with a bonnet and some pajamas on. She don't even have sense enough to put clothes on to come up to the school. I'm not gonna sit here and act like these teachers aren't fighting an uphill battle. Those teachers in that classroom sometimes catching just as much hell as these police out here on the street.
Wow.
I couldn't be no teacher.
I couldn't either. There's no way.
I knew I didn't have what it takes to be a teacher. Yeah. I couldn't be a teacher, so I was a nurse at the prison. Trust me, you can actually do more to discipline a convict in a prison than you can a child in the school. That's the truth. Those officers have more leeway to get those convicts in order than a teacher can at the school.
All right, we're gonna wrap up the show. Let me make sure I get all the comments here. The apple doesn't fall apart. The nut doesn't fall apart from the tree. Yeah, it's true. She said the Closdale Quarter reunion is to give back, Crystal. It's not a family, but it's a community event.
Okay, like I said though, and I'm gonna say this because I'm in Closdale.
She did say a Closdale is involved. She said it moments ago.
Okay, right. That's what I was just. That's all I'm saying is because to get a lot of involvement in there, there's a very serious historical component to that community. And if you can get one involved, all those Clausels from across the community, try to get them, across the country, try to get them involved so that you can know how that community got started, and then look at how all those other families migrated into the community. It's a lot of people that done come from Clausel from other parts of Monroe County. I think it would be really cool. I'm not knocking the idea. I think it's fantastic. I just want to know how did, if anybody in the Clausel family was involved in it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to go back for that. I'm looking forward to it. So Crystal, let's wrap it up. We started the show talking about the Alumni Association and the different organizations benefiting from fundraising, but not being transparent. So what are the final words on this? What do we tell people? Because we got to have a game action plan. And I know that you on your page did have, I'm going to see here. I want to bring one of them up. What do we need to do here? This is what you put on your page. This is something from your page. Concerned citizens are calling for this. This is what this show is all about. This is our message to all of the organizations that are benefiting from fundraising. Full financial disclosure from the organization. Public release of the facility rental agreements and board meeting minutes related to the tailgating arrangement. But you know what, Crystal, before I go any further, we've learned that this arrangement was with the school board. The tailgating that's going on at Monroe County High School was agreed upon, allegedly, with the school board and the association.
Okay, well, the school board, the meetings of those minutes are public. They can ask to see them.
Because if you guys are concerned about the tailgate, because like I said before the show, because I know a lot of you are just tuning in and you're just coming in late. But before the show, I brought it out that we're having this meeting and this conversation because people from Monroeville have reached out to us with their concerns about transparency. So what we're doing is putting it back out there saying, okay, well, if you want transparency, then we need to demand it. Right, Crystal, do you have anything else before we get out of here?
They can go to my page, even though some of it may be comical or may be argumentative. Go back over to my page, and if not just this alumni association, if any organization is asking you for your money, there's some posts on that page that will tell you how you can tell if they are for real, if they are legitimate, and if they are a real deal charitable organization.
And if they're not, and they don't meet that criteria?
Keep your money in your pocket.
And not go to the tailgate. Is that what you're saying?
That's anybody. I don't care what it is. I don't care if they're having a stick breaking, a chicken fish fry. If an organization cannot prove to you that they are truly a charitable organization, if they cannot, meet the criteria, be careful about giving your money to somebody until you know what it's for and where it's going.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. It's been a long night. Listen, I did not intend when we started this broadcast that we would be here this long, but the conversation was just so good. We couldn't stop. But I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. Crystal, I appreciate you. You know I do.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I couldn't have done this conversation without you because, you kind of lit Facebook on fire this week with all of your and just tell everybody, why were you doing all of that? I want you to explain yourself on that. Not that you need to, but why were you doing all of those lives and trying to educate people? What was the thought process behind that?
You want me to tell you what people want to hear? You want me to tell you the truth? I
always want the truth.
Okay, that first post that I put was very, very. It was a Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
If I had written that post in an intelligent way, because I do have sense enough to write an intelligent post. If I had made that post one of those informative, intelligent public service announcement posts, it wouldn't have got nowhere. People like foolishness. They like mess. They like that kind of inflammatory hate. So that's why I put the post up, because that got people to thinking. And trust me, your inbox and my inbox blew up.
Yeah.
And people started confessing. So I did it because last week that young man started telling me about conditions of that school. I haven't been out to Monroe County High School in years. I didn't know it had got that bad.
Right.
So I knew that they had an alumni association. I knew this alumni association been raising money for years. And then this man tell me the field house is messed up. I just felt like that something was wrong if you have an organization in place that's raising money and these people aren't getting the money.
Yeah. That was
That's
a shock to all of us. That was a shock to all of us. That's the reason this continued, guys, because of last week's show. I want to bring this up, and I want the school board to read this one. This one is for you, school board. There are parents like myself who come to teachers with respect, genuinely interested in coming up with a solution on how my daughter can be successful in that teacher's class. If the teacher is not interested, then what are we to do? It is my job as a parent to help my daughter reinforce what she learns at school. But if she's not being taught, that turns into us being up all night trying to learn what we should have been taught by her teacher. I appreciate this, but I still say it goes so much.
Tamika McCants, Brown versus the Board of Education. It's a lawsuit that's about 60 or so years old.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you this right here. People don't care nothing about what's coming out your mouth. They don't care. I'm going to tell you that. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you feel that your child is being deliberately disenfranchised as a student and they won't hear you, the principal won't hear you, nobody won't hear you, baby, go get you a lawyer and let them know that your child is being deliberately miseducated. Now, people don't care nothing about what come out your mouth. People only care about what you got going on when you're bringing it to their attention, gonna cost them something. Okay?
There it is. There it is.
The only way that
It is.
corporations, entities, and organizations will stop playing with you is when you take the law and you hit them in their pocket.
And here's some advice from an ex-principal, Tamika. She says, let that teacher know how you feel and go to the principal and do the same thing. If that doesn't help, go to the superintendent.
And you put it in writing. Stop talking to them. Put it in writing so you can prove that you had that conversation.
I agree. Follow it up. Always put things in writing,
and
guys.
Send it
Always.
by email. Send it by email.
And certified mail.
Send it certified mail and send it by email with a receipt on there where you can see where she got it and where she read it. And you keep a paper trail. And then you escalate it as high as you can. And if they don't hear you and your child is stressed out, your child nerves bad, your nerves bad, you get all that documented, lay all that evidence, and they can let the judge decide, you know, if they're going to act right with you, or either you can get enough money to go put your child in a private school. People don't care nothing about what's coming out your mouth when they know you're going to do something about it.
Yeah, that is so true. 100%.
And honestly, if your child having that problem, it might be another parent having the same problem. Do you know how many people it take to file a class action lawsuit, Ms. McCann? 2. All you need is one more parent. And y'all can't get no relief down there? Get you one more parent having the same problem as you got, and y'all go half on a lawyer and see what happens.
Teachers who do not care should not be in any classroom. Totally agree. She is telling the truth. Document everything and CC everyone who needs to be informed. Yeah, it's unfortunate, guys, but this is what it has come to. We have to do that. And one thing Crystal definitely said, well, she said a lot of things that are so true, but one thing for sure is that they don't care until it starts affecting their pocket. When you stop taking those donations because you want transparency, I guarantee you'll get it. Stop just letting people tell you what. Don't let people dictate to you what you're gonna get, and you're giving your money. Be a little bit more responsible with your money. Be a good steward of your money. Don't just be so lackadaisical. When we brought out last week the state of Monroe County High School, and knowing that there's a party up on the hill, I can't do it. I couldn't. That just felt like, I felt like a hypocrite, and I feel like one now for doing it last year. But I'm gonna make that right, because I don't want anything to do with it. I want you guys, whatever you do, make your decision. I'm not on here trying to tell people not to pay their money for the tailgate. You guys came to us and said that you didn't trust it, and you have good reason not to, because it's not being transparent. Now, once it's transparent, then you make your decision. But we're gonna get out of here, Crystal. It's been great. I know I've said that like 3 times now, right? But I keep getting these comments, and I want to make sure I bring them up. But we really are going to get out of here now. But you guys, maybe we'll have another show. We'll bring some people back. I really want to know your concerns. If you guys have concerns that we have not addressed tonight, please inbox me, because we may have to run another show. It may take a few more shows for us to get this stuff together.
Tell Tamika to inbox me. I got some for her. It's called negligent, and Shatunda Howard can amen this. It's called negligent supervision and retention.
All right. You hear that, Tamika? Inbox Crystal. She's got something for you. She can help you out with that. Crystal is a good resource, guys. That's why I brought her here on the show tonight. Because I watched a lot of her lives, and Crystal and I, we've talked like every day this week, Crystal, at least 3 or 4 times a day.
A couple times a day.
Yeah, but we are both in this for real. Like, we're not playing with this.
Oh yeah, this right here, man. This
you found something, Crystal? What? Share.
No, I'm just saying you still when kids can't get what they need because grown folks playing crazy games. That's not gonna do that. But Tamika, you inbox me and I will find out what your facts are, and we will address that, because negligent supervision and retention and deliberate indifference is a violation of is a civil rights violation under Section 1983 of the Civil Rights Act.
Oof! Wow.
A teacher's indifference can rise to the level of violating a student's constitutional rights, and a school board can be sued under Section 1983 for failing to intervene.
Ooh. And Shatunda did agree. She said, yes, it is. All right. We're getting out of here this time for real, guys. Y'all have a great night.
Hit me up and I will do what I can to help you. Seriously.
All right, guys. Anybody that has any questions about tonight's broadcast, please inbox me. We'll address it. We'll do another show, whatever it takes, but we will keep you posted on everything that's coming up. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Butch. I know he had to leave a little early, but thank you guys for tuning in. Please share this broadcast. We need everybody to see this broadcast tonight. Okay, guys, we love you. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.
We are supporters of the Ella Johnson Show. We live in South Korea. We have been watching Ella Johnson Show for like a year now, and we love her show. Her show is very inspirational, motivational, and educational.
If you would like to be a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or send a text message to 407-334-6997.
We love Ella Johnson Show.